Welcome to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Florida State is one of the better environments in college football.
Have each other's back, because this is all we got. 1, 2, 3. Touchdown, Clemson. Oh, what a catch. You make a statement. Put on a show tonight.
Well, Coach Sweeney, your team has played on the road this year, but this is a bigger, more hostile crowd than they've ever faced. What have you done to prepare them for this moment?
Well, certainly a lot of crowd noise through the week to get them ready for, a great environment. This is definitely one of the better environments out there. It'll be an awesome crowd, but, this is our 4th road ACC game, so we do have a little bit of experience, and hopefully that'll show tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
12-game winning streak going back to the win over the Seminoles a year ago, which was a hard-fought, come-from-behind win in Death Valley. And there is Osceola, the symbol of the traditional leader of the Seminole tribe, a student aboard his Appaloosa Renegade. A tradition that dates to the early years of the Bobby Bowden era, developed in partnership with the Seminole tribe of Florida. Neat to see that. It's been a while since I've been here, Kurt.
Love that tradition. Stadium knows the team is coming out any second once they see that.
Noles were rolling at 4-0 when Wake Forest came in here, and the veteran Demon Deacon team kind of got him in a sleeper hold, built a lead and hung on, and then a heartbreaking road loss for the Seminoles at NC State. There's Brian Brzee, one of the guys that expects to wreak havoc on Jordan Travis tonight.
Great to see
6
him back.
consecutive wins, Kirk, and the average margin has been 20 points. They have smothered Florida State's offense over the years in that span.
Well, I think it's very important with these numbers in mind and with the way Clemson has dominated and how good they are this year. The early part of this game is very important for both teams. The Noles need things to happen early to make them believe that they can win and get this crowd to believe that they can win.
Noles get the football first. B.T. Potter to boot it away. The true freshman back to receive the kickoff for Florida State. Sam McCall. And McCall will let it sail into the end zone and take a knee. So we'll see Jordan Travis in this Florida State offense as we check the Chick-fil-A impact players when FSU's got the football.
Johnny Wilson is a big target, number 14, and obviously big because he's 6'7". He's transfer in. Trey Benson, another transfer from Oregon. He's going to have to take up with Trey Ward down. You'll watch number 3. He's a physical runner. Brian Brzee back in the lineup. Had a kidney infection. He's missed a game also because of his 15-year-old sister who passed away. The family really came together as one, and he missed a game, so he has been out. It's good to see him back. Then, of course, number 0, Barrett Carter, becoming one of the enforcers at the second level of this defense. Watch 0 fly and get to the ball.
We see Benson and Lawrence Toafili, rotated running back Toafili, the sophomore from St. Petersburg, to the right of Travis. He gets the ball out quickly, and the catch is made by Johnny Wilson. That long, rangy transfer from the Sun Devils.
Well, he has got some speed to go along with his size. He's not just a big body. I mentioned he's 6'7", 235, but he can also do some damage with his legs after he makes a catch. But a great target for Travis, especially early in the game.
Didn't do a lot in Tempe, just 12 career catches, but he has excelled here early going, and there is a run by Toafili, who stretches and leans for a first down before KJ Henry knocked him down.
Good push from that Florida State offensive line. They're trying to create a little rhythm here. They'll get some tempo going. Travis, in his 3rd year in command of this offense, understands how to move and kind of change the tempos, how to be the aggressor as an offense.
Empty backfield. They get the ball on the edge quickly, and the catch is made, and that's Toafili, who flexed out and eased into Clemson territory.
Well, they're in the boundary. Look, he's on the right hash. He's got 3 receivers, and he's got a couple blockers. So it's a pretty simple read. Just get it out there and let the receivers and Preston Daniel, a tight end, block and get yards after the catch.
Travis on the move, being chased, running out of room and time, and he fires a very short distance pass to Cameron McDonald, the tight end. Pressured by Barrett Carter.
They called that incomplete because he went airborne right as he caught the football. He was actually elevated, so an incompletion, but he did try to say, you take it kind of thing at the last second. Watch his foot elevate, and then he catches the ball, so he's out of bounds.
Could not have been expecting the throw there.
No, good hands.
Running left for a short gain is Toafili. It's going to set up a 3rd and long.
This offensive line has their hands full tonight. You mentioned at the outset, Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator, Dabo Swinney, excited to see this first time all year they've been healthy as a defense, not just the defensive line, but the secondary as well. So they have all hands on deck.
2 tight end look, pump fake, and a delivery complete for a 1st down. Backing across the line is Malik McClain, sophomore receiver.
Well, Makuba, the safety is on him. This is just using your body and your frame to be able to get open. It's a good job of just shielding the defender away from the ball. I think Jordan Travis kind of sensed that, kind of short arms the ball to get it out quickly, but really nice job there, keeping the defender away from the ball by McClain.
Young receiver who's emerging, caught a touchdown against the Wolfpack last week. So Trey Benson now in on this 1st down play. He's got the football, running left, has a crease. Benson barrels down into the red zone. And that Florida State running game going early.
How about the left side here? Gets a kick out. We seal here, and then you're able to get right into the interior of this big, massive defensive line and these linebackers. And there's that tough running by Benson, breaking through that arm tackle and picking up even more yards. 19
on the game. Seminoles would love a fast start here. Get this crowd going.
Exactly right.
Belief and confidence. Benson tries to bounce this one. And that was Barrett Carter who wouldn't let him get the edge. Forced him back inside where Trotter cleaned it up.
Yeah, KJ Henry actually does a good job also being able to fight there. Then you just get the defense flowing. It is really tough to be able to get wide on this defense. Make Barrett Carter, he might become, it's easy to fall in love with quarterbacks and receivers. I love Zero. I just love how this guy could do anything. He could be a running back, he could be a safety, he could be a corner. They have him an outside linebacker, and he can fly and just has a toughness about him.
You and Al will be seeing him in the NFL for sure.
Yeah.
Keeper by Travis, who's in the clear, and the Seminoles strike first. What a drive! You're bragging on Carter, but he whiffed that time.
He sure did, in the open field. That's a zone read. He's reading an edge man. He collapses. He pulls that. Good job with patience there. Pull it. Now you got to make a play. Boom. One-on-one, and that's the guy. Barrett Carter was just talking about how good of a player he is in space. Travis abuses him in space for that touchdown.
You see Travis, he's elusive. He's got great straight line speed. His running is a big part of the attack. And the underdog Noles go 75 in 9 plays to claim the early lead. Campbell rocking early. Clutch 3rd down completion by Travis to McClain. Then the 19-yard run by Benson, setting up the quarterback's 20-yard touchdown run. DJ Uyunglele in this Tigers offense on the road will take over. Already down a touchdown. Will Shipley will let this sail over his head. Chick-fil-A impact players when the Tigers have the football, Kirk.
Well, Will Shipley, a big part of their run game, and they've got to get him going early. Last couple of games, he's not been able to get established. They brought that up, how important that is. You could talk about Ngata and Collins. I think Antonio Williams is a true freshman underneath, could be big today. And then we look on the other side. Verse, the transfer from Albany. Can he apply pressure on DJ? It'll be a big thing. And then also Bethune. Tatum Bethune, the leader in the middle of that defense, number 15. He leads them in tackles and is very active, putting that defense lined up.
2-back look. It's Will Moffa with Shipley. Uyunglele rolls and finds Shipley in the flat. He's a dangerous receiver. Tackled in the open field there by Kevin Knowles.
We have talked and talked about how impressive he has been. Dropped 30 pounds, no knee brace, running the football more decisive as a passer.
And 2nd and 1. He keeps it, and even though he's dropped weight, we've seen the leg strength even increase. He's just able to move the pile by himself.
Yeah, he's moving weights is what he's doing in the offseason because his legs are tree trunks, and he's able to run through tackles. All the quarterbacks here run the football. They all run it differently. I always bring up Taj Boyd. You can go back to Deshaun, who was more explosive. Trevor Lawrence ran, and the way he ran, he had that long speed and more powerful run, almost like a tight end with DJ.
Being Shipley, who just runs with a hard edge and an attitude. He's thick, powerfully built too.
Yeah, he's definitely put some good weight on this year, and you know, when they can run the ball between the tackles, it opens up their jet sweep game and their quick pass game, and then they lull you to sleep, and then they take their shots downfield when they get the one-on-one matchups.
Florida State's pass defense much improved, but not many teams have taken shots downfield against them. In fact, a shockingly low number. That's incomplete, well defended over there on the edge by Bernardo Green. There's a flag down. Davis Allen was the intended receiver, flying back in the pit.
DJ saw Green walk up and challenge one of his receivers. It was the tight end, and when he sees that, he's going to take those shots.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 78. The 59 penalty, the down counts. The 3rd down.
That's a true freshman tackle. Blake Miller was a prodigy, very talented guy, but this is a first for him. He has not played in this kind of an environment on the road yet in his career.
No, and you just wonder how the younger players and just this team overall, how they're going to respond to being on the road and not being able to communicate. Let's keep an eye on right in front of DJ. I don't know, he just kind of threw him down there.
Showed some strength, but it did cost him 15. So 3rd and 23 now. They dump it off underneath, but coming up to make a big hit is Derek McClendon. And the Noles defense does the job. Tigers will punt.
They walked him up. He was almost just like a robber or a spy. He's right here. He's showing pressure and then just kind of sinks into coverage. Keeping an eye on DJ and also anything that's thrown underneath, and then bang, just cleans it up on 3rd down and long. Talked about this is an athletic defense. These guys get after it up front and can run with the receivers when they match up man-to-man.
Aiden Swanson punted away. We talked about Micah Pittman, the versatile player from Oregon who drifts back and takes it at his 20. Cuts through a couple of guys. Pittman squeaking and baking. A nice return out near midfield. They got a good return game here at Florida State. And the Seminoles, already up 7, will have great field position for Travis and company. 30-yard return.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Wolf & Shepherd. Join the pack at wolfandshepard.com.
Talked about what the Brzee family has been through. Brian lost his 15-year-old sister Ella to cancer in late September. Just agonizing for the entire family, his 2 sisters, his mom and dad, Rich and Megan. Then had to miss some time. He had a kidney infection that they diagnosed. He felt fine, but they just had to be cautious about it. Finally able to go full go in this game for the first time, and very eager to get out there and show what he can do. Noles from the 49. They fake it to Benson. Travis retreats and now flips it to the tight end. And McDonald is going to be knocked down in Clemson territory. Holly?
Well, even though they're opponents on the field tonight, how beautiful is this gesture by Florida State to paint the words right on the stadium, Ella Strong. As Brian came out to take the field tonight and saw that sign, he kissed it, and then his entire family, his dad Richard, mom Megan, they were there to see. What a beautiful, classy move. I asked Brian about it, and he said, it means a lot to me.
It sure was, Holly. That pass almost intercepted. KJ Henry dropped into coverage, had it in his hands. There you see the Brzee family.
Yeah, they are very passionate about the Tigers as well. You know, anytime you run a zone blitz, you drop the defensive end and almost fool Jordan Travis. It was one of those where as soon as the ball got out of his hand, he wanted to bring it back. Henry, perfectly timed there by Wes Goodwin to drop him into the flat, almost comes up with a pick.
Now Travis faces a 3rd and 8. They don't want to waste this good field position. Tigers rush 4, but they flush him and sack him. That Clemson pass rush imposes itself. Miles Murphy joined by Carter.
Well, they're trying to run a screen off to the right, but it's completely taken away. Watch Trey Williams get pressure because you see the linemen. They start to bail. They start to go off to the right, and there's nowhere to throw the ball to the right. The play is completely imploded, so Williams gets the pressure, and Murphy ends up coming up with that sack.
4th sack of the year for Murphy, who leads the team. He's a top 10 draft prospect, and Todd McShay's board beginning to really look like it in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last few games.
Antonio Williams like to receive the punt of Alex Mastromano, the Aussie, who boots it high but short, and it is fair caught at the 27-yard line. So the Tigers defense rises up and gets the football back for DJ. Holly?
Well, guys, a big injury for Florida State tonight. They're without one of their best rushers, Trayshawn Ward, who was injured in the game last week. He actually leads the ACC in yards per carry, and this was very difficult against NC State, going down hard on that shoulder joint. He was taken to the hospital, had scans and x-rays, and Mike Norvell said it was actually good news. They're not sure that he's going to be out as long as they feared, so they're hoping that he can get back soon. And I'll tell you this, he's at practice, he's on the sideline in a sling, and he's about the best coach out here. He's totally involved in this game.
He's the leader of that running back room. Shipley has that honor for Clemson and makes the carry. Yeah, it's a dislocated collarbone, not a fracture, I'm told, which is good news, and hopefully just a couple of weeks back in the field for Ward, who's a difference maker, by the way, when he's in there. 7 yards of carry.
Yep. But Benson, so far tonight, running the ball pretty well. Florida State's defense, great job in the first series. See if the adjustments that are being made here by Dabo and Brandon Streeter help them get a little rhythm going.
Shipley trying to get some blocks on the edge. He does get him and sprints out of bounds. It'll be a couple of yards short of the marker. Green forced him out.
Big part of what they want to do tonight, because Florida State has some injuries to their defensive line, is they don't have a lot of depth. And one of the things you see from Clemson is tempo. It's hard to do tempo when you don't have first downs. If they can get some first downs, you can start to crank up the tempo and try to get this Florida State defense tired on some longer drives.
On 3rd and 1, Shipley easily makes it out across the 40. Seminoles defense has been a little bit vulnerable when teams have run the ball, grinding out long drives. That's how Wake Forest beat him here a couple of games ago. They know the challenge of trying to stop Shipley and Uyangalele as a runner. Play action off the edges, pressure, he dodges it and fires downfield, has a man wide open, Antonio Williams. Touchdown for the freshman. What a job by the quarterback, Kirk, dodging the rush and then delivering a perfect strike.
But here's the matchup you get right here. He works down the sideline, and watch where the defender comes from. All the way from the middle because of the blitz. That's a safety. Good job, as you said, by DJ avoiding that pressure. And then the slot receiver just running away from Akeem Dent. Easy. Gets behind him. Perfectly thrown ball. Clemson, in the blink of an eye, when it looked like they're out of rhythm, they score. We'll see if that can kickstart their offense. But a great play by DJ Uyangalele.
There's a debate in college football. Who's the true wide receiver you? Is it Clemson or Ohio State? Clemson's had a lot of great ones, and Antonio Williams will be the next in line from the looks of it. Uyangalele shows poise, elusiveness, and the Tigers, just like that, even at 7. Beautiful night here in Tallahassee following a flawless day. Sunny, low humidity. Goodyear providing the aerial coverage, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. The 59-yard strike is Clemson's longest play from scrimmage this year and the longest play the Noles have given up. Not a lot of teams have had success taking deep shots, Kirk, against this defense, but DJ's made a specialty of doing that against everybody. McCall's going to bring it out from 2 yards deep. And has a seam. A flag is down very late in the return as he's tackled out across the 30. So this will cost him some field position.
Yeah, pushing the back there.
Maloney on the coverage team down and in apparent pain.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 86. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Go back to the first drive. Boy, the Noles came out with a great plan. Mike Norvell had the ball out of the hands quickly of Jordan Travis. Mixed it in their formation. Some quick runs, a little bit of tempo. Good hard running from Trey Benson. See here now you get the quarterback out on the edge, one-on-one against Barrett Carter, and gets to the inside and into the end zone. It was 9 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, 6 runs and 6 passes.
Yeah, real good balance.
Show you the penalty here on the Seminoles here.
Right to the right there, a little push in the back.
Wasn't a lot, but it did force the coverage man to the ground. And here's what happened to Maloney as he came over there and got tangled up in some bodies and went down hard. Seems to be okay. So that puts the football back. Instead of starting at the 32-yard line, they begin from about the 7. Kind of mistakes that have cost Florida State in the last couple weeks. And the sideline route, beautiful throw, looped in there to big Johnny Wilson, has made an impact early on. Second catch.
Little over-under read on the corner, Nate Wiggins. He's just trying to figure out if Wiggins is going to stay up tight. Look at him up all the way at the top of your screen. Is he up on my receiver or is he in the back? He tries to go up and over him and makes a heck of a throw.
22-yard gain. Travis Sharp now gets the high percentage throw to Toafili, who's flexed out. They've tried that a couple of times, a modest first down gain.
Yeah, I mean, the first drive, that was a big part of what they did, stretching Clemson, making them run, get to the outside, then run between the tackles. And just a really good mix. Looks like they're going back to that after a second series did not amount to very much.
Wes Goodwin there, of course, who takes over for Venables. He said things are slowing down for him. He's getting more used to calling the defense. Solid job by his group at the midseason point. The second down handoff and running into heavy traffic. Short gain. He's Toafili, so third down coming up.
Mike Norvell has to be very pleased with his offensive line, not just tonight, early in this game, but this year. And it takes time to build an offensive line. And I'll be honest, I can't remember a really dominant offensive line being played here as a unit in years.
Alex Atkins, who's the co-offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, they went to the portal hard, Kirk. They went to the portal for 5 O-linemen, 3 start.
Yeah.
2 other guys are out injured. That's a huge number. It's hard to find portal offensive linemen.
It is. And then to get them to work as one unit, and they've done a very good job.
3rd and 4, pressure off the edge. Travis steps up and delivers underneath, and that's Malik McClain now has made 2 crucial catches on 3rd down.
Just not picked up underneath. Watch the linebackers trying to communicate, trying to match up, and he just kind of clears the area. You have a scissors route underneath where you have 2 receivers, one from the right, like a mesh concept coming right to left, and then we had left to right, and Bentley just kind of loses the receiver there. Good job on 3rd down of Jordan Travis being patient to eventually find his man, and McClain makes another big catch.
Travis 7 for 9 in the early going. Hands it off to Benson. Brzee couldn't bring him down, and Benson, who's carrying the load along with Toafili, was worn out. Physical run.
It's not easy to do. Brzee has his hands on him. You'll see 11 coming over from your left. Does a pretty good job just to get there. Such a big athlete. You'd think he'd be able to bring him down, but it gives you an idea of what Benson can do at 215 pounds, running through those arm tackles and picking up positive yards.
Brzee still getting accustomed to game speed. He's full go tonight, Kirk, but as you know, when you miss time and you deal with an infection, may not quite be full fuel tank. Already 49 rushing yards, and Travis is going to be sacked for the second time. Just threw the ball, try to avoid the sack, and was Justin Maskell.
Yeah,
solid backups off the edge there.
Yeah, it's almost like he didn't. Travis gets hit. He's down. Looks like he's going to try to stay in the game. Shake that off. Maskell, I don't think he respected anything about this game except for this play, except I'm going after the quarterback. I'm not worried about the fake. I'm not worried about anything. And the offensive lineman who was trying to pull out to try to pick up that block didn't have any chance. Emmanuel, the right guard.
It's one of those old hands, a fifth-year senior. You're right, Travis was walking around trying to make sure that leg and hip is okay.
Just to get that ball out of there, headsy play.
Boyd would have been a big loss, and now fires over the middle into traffic. Ricochets dangerously, and a flag is out where Jalen Phillips was providing coverage.
He got there a little early. Pretty easy call for the official.
Defense number 25. Ball be placed in the spot on the foul, automatic. First down.
Remember, we saw Malik McLean make this exact same play earlier, and now you're going to see him kind of working, just kind of sink right there, but you see a safety just eyeing him, anticipating the throw, and watch how he gets there just early. Just a half of a second early. 25 bumps into 4. Good call by the official.
Penalty moves the ball to the 25. Toafili makes a cut. It feels like Lawrence and Benson are going to pick up for Trayshawn Ward, who is as you said, he's the leader. He's the alpha of the running back room, out for a couple of weeks, but the other guys are playing inspired tonight.
They really are. And I kind of watched the film, and you talk to Mike Norvell, you kind of hear that, of course, they'd love to have Ward here, but man, it's fun to see Benson run the way he is tonight, and you still have 2 backs back there that can help you stay fresh.
Screen, Pittman bumps into traffic, including a blocker. He's a strong guy himself, but he's going to be stopped by Sheridan Jones just short of the marker.
How about that play call? Going to give him the first down.
Oh, wow.
How about this play call? You get all the action going to the right. Everybody's going to go to the right, and now you've got a block there by the tight end. Now you're trying to have Michael Pittman try to beat the corner against Sheridan Jones and get enough for the first.
They play with tempo. Travis tries to get to the edge, does so. Couple of stiff arms. Jones muscled him out, but the Noles inside the 10.
You better start accounting for the running game of Jordan Travis off that zone read. The time he was reading Trenton Simpson, who collapsed down and then came back out to try to bring Jordan Travis down, but more positive yards on 1st and 10.
Mike Norvell's in a play calling rhythm, didn't you feel? He was hired for this job because of his high-power offense at Memphis.
That's right.
He calls the plays, and feels like he's in the zone right now. 2nd and 2. Toafili's in a pistol. That's Pittman who motions back in. He gets the football and fights hard to get back near the line of scrimmage. Trenton Simpson wrestled him down. 3rd and 1 now.
I thought that might be a loss of yardage. Like Murphy might have been able to work into the backfield.
I don't see a flag down. Mike Roche having a conversation.
Illegal shift. Offense number 4. Began his shift and never got set before the ball was snapped. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's exactly the kind of mistake that has been so costly. He did come in motion. He's got to stop.
Alrighty.
I didn't see a marker come down, but it's a big one because it's going to move the ball back. Instead of 3rd and 1 to 2nd and 7. See if they'll feature the running game here or get Travis on the move, try to throw for this. Toafili makes a cut. Ooh, ugly looking tackle as he is bent backwards. Got down near the marker. Seems to be okay.
Great to see.
Aroro got him.
Great to see him get up. And again, watch this offensive line pushing people. Gibbons downfield, 75 on Simpson. Look at 75.
3rd and 1. Philly just hesitates, picks his spot. Trotter stops him, but it's a 1st and goal for the Seminoles.
Well, keep in mind the defense that we bragged about all week and imagining, wow, they're all healthy, everybody's back. Can you imagine having this? I mean, we're debating whether or not this is the best, not just defensive line, maybe one of the best defense, if not the top defense in the country. And in this first quarter, Noles holding their own at the line of scrimmage.
It's a marathon march. They're throwing some body blows. Can they muscle it in? Philly that time tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Penetration by Peyton Page.
But just the entire defensive front here trying to work and get any kind of leverage they can get to shoot a gap. You can see this time they went up front. Page, as you said, Chris, is the enforcer there in the middle, trying to rotate themselves and trying to stay fresh. They're going to have to work the edges against his defensive line, and such a weapon with Jordan Travis with the ability to run and throw.
About 4 guys in this D-line who could start at just about any other college. Travis on the move here, delivers a shot to Benson, incomplete. He couldn't tiptoe down the sidelines and stay inbound, so it's 3rd and goal.
I think the crowd's reacting. I thought they might have a free play. The big fella, Peyton Page, jumped initially. I guess they thought he got back, but very close to being offsides there by Clemson in a free play. But the big man nimble enough to get back. See him over the left shoulder, the center. He got back, and then the actually gets in there to get the pressure.
Usually the progressive pylon cam clearly out of bounds. Boy, it is hard to squeeze a pass down in the red zone here against this Tigers defense. Toafili flexed in the slot to the left. Benson's the back. Travis backpedaling. Can he get there? Spins, fights, reaches. They're spotting him short. Not calling it a touchdown. That's probably worth a look. Man, he took off quickly.
His knee looked to me to be down before he was able to extend to get to the goal line. I think it's a good call. Watch the knee. From behind, he gets tackled. He's down there, well short, in fact.
It's the final play of an exciting first quarter, so they have a decision to make. They're spotting it about a half-yard away. We'll see if Norvell wants to go for it. End of the first quarter in Tallahassee. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Set for the second quarter in Tallahassee. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. Mike Norvell going for it on 4th down. The kicking game has been a little unreliable, so he's gone for it 9 times, only converted 3.
And you're Florida State playing Clemson at home. You got to go for it here.
I formation. They hand it to the fullback who collided with Travis. He almost tripped him. No signal of touchdown yet. Noles think he got there. If he didn't, it's because his leg got tangled with the quarterback. It is a touchdown. It wasn't pretty, but the Seminoles take the lead, Kirk.
You're right. I mean, I thought he was going to be stopped because of right here, their legs collide, bang, and I say the play's over, but he keeps fighting. He's got Murphy holding on to his legs. This is where it becomes a game. The officials aren't there yet. They've already blown the whistle, but you're trying to move yourself as far as you can to give the impression that you broke the plane.
DJ Lundy gets in. I rode in the elevator with William Floyd, the former Noles fullback. I said, the fullback, is he going to play a role today? He better.
He did.
Give it to the fullback.
I love how the whistle's blown, and he just keeps grinding and pushing to get across that plane.
They're going to review this. Steve McBride is the replay official for this ACC crew, so Mike Roche is going to trot over. Bill DeMagny's in the booth. Bill, as you know, very difficult to get video evidence of the goal line to overturn the call on the field, right?
You're absolutely right. I see this standing. I really believe it's a touchdown. He's still fighting forward, reaches over.
Bill, what are they looking at? What are they trying to figure out? First, you can't hear the whistle, can you?
First thing is they're looking to see if he possibly went down from this first time when he tripped up. But now they're looking to see if a body part's down. You can't see anything here. This call's going to stand. It's going to be a touchdown.
He's laying on a whole bunch of bodies. I don't see him touch the ground.
You can see the football right there.
Yep. I don't think he's touched the ground yet.
No, he's just laying on bodies.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So, Kirk, that was a 93-yard, 15-play touchdown drive, almost 7 minutes against this Clemson defense.
And I really wondered if they would have the ability to sustain drives, again, because of how good Florida State is defensively, and they've done it twice now. 9-play drive, 75 yards, 15 plays in the 93 here.
Fitzgerald, he struggled with his field goal kicking on for the extra point. Tell you what, we came in, I think, expecting a typical ACC defensive game. The Noles have come out and on fire. Play calling has been great. Execution's been great. They got the lead again.
Well, they've had 3 series on offense. 2 of the 3, it's probably looked exactly like a Thursday practice on what they hoped they would be able to do as far as execution. I think they've gotten the ball out of their hands quickly with Jordan Travis. They've mixed in different formations. They've run outside, quick throws outside. Jordan Travis is sprinkling in some run game, and they're going tempo to get Clemson's defense on its heels. So a really good mixed bag. And give Mike Norvell and these players on the Noles offense a lot of credit. What do we say? When you're an underdog at home, you got to find a reason to get your fans and your players to believe you can win. And that's what Florida State's done here in this first quarter. Now into the second.
Lundy's carried the ball twice. 2 touchdowns. 2 one-yard plunges. This is a team that started 0-4 a year ago, reversed that this year, but the back-to-back losses have certainly deflated some of the hype. With like 1,500 days between rankings, got into the top 20, blew it, now trying to muscle back in. Kevin Negandhi on an eventful day and night to update us.
Chris, it's been fun. Time now for our Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update. Number 7 USC underdogs at Utah, Dan.
Yeah, which is surprising, but the transfers keep showing up for USC, making the plays, and this is a tough place to go in.
Travis Dye a touchdown, Jordan Addison a touchdown. Those transfers 14-0. Back to you, Chris and Kirk.
Kevin will keep you updated on what's a busy night. It's been the kind of day you just dream of if you're a fan. And we've got a good one in the making here. Uiagalelei and the Tigers try to answer. Maffa's wrestled down. This is a fired up Florida State defense, and they see what the offense has done.
I got to admit, man, if you're a college football traditionalist and you love to get around the country, it's been a long time since we've come into Florida State, and they got the energy, they got the chop going, and everybody's excited right now. It's kind of fun. It's been too long, right?
Amen.
Too long. It's fun to get in here and watch this.
Not fun for Clemson at the moment. They know they're in for a fight tonight. You can crank up the amp to 11, get the speakers loud with the crowd noise, try to get your offense ready, but by far the biggest crowd they played in front of.
I haven't heard a place like this in forever.
Last time we were here was Willie Taggart's first game in 18. That didn't work out very well.
No. How about that play by Patrick Payton, the redshirt freshman out of Miami Northwestern? They bring him in because they've had some injuries in the inside. They've moved Dennis Briggs, number 6, in. It's given Payton more and more opportunities, and that time known as a pass rusher, but showing he can defend the run. There's that crowd.
2 strong defensive fronts, but so far the Noles have been outperforming Clemson. Receivers bunch to the right, but Uiagalelei looks back to the left and fires a dart complete to Joseph Ngata on the sidelines in front of Marion Cooper.
How about that location of that football in the back shoulder to Ngata? Has the right foot down, has possession, actually got the second foot down. But look at him, see the safety 27 blitz, and it's picked up by Maffa and knows he's going to get hit and still throws an absolute dime to the outside shoulder there to give his receiver a chance, and the DB never found the ball.
19-yard completion to quiet this crowd on 3rd down. Now looking at play action. And running out of time, Big DJ is going to be dropped. Eventually, Derek McClendon got to him. Nobody open.
Boy, he missed one here. Watch Robinson start to cheat, and he's got Williams working across. Oh, my goodness. The safety comes up right there. He's got him up, and look at this throw. If he's able to locate that, that could be potentially a touchdown. Instead, he hesitates and unable to make a play with the football.
Yeah, that's wrong. There was a guy wide open. He just didn't see him. Wow. Maffa Gets the edge and explodes. Boy, Dabo Swinney is high on this guy. You haven't seen a lot from him yet, but the guys around the program know that this is a star power guy.
Just watch him on that run. That's all you need to see. I mean, and Dabo, he talks about all of his backs. Of course, Kobe Pace is out. Shipley gets a lot of attention. But Maffa, 6'1", 230, out of Grayson in Georgia. He's a big, powerful guy, but as you see there, when he gets north and south, man, he can go. Looked like second forever. Now they're at 3rd and 2.
How about you run it after a sack and pick up 14 yards? Fake to Maffa. Uiagalelei caught up in traffic and just on pure strength fought to get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's 4th down. McClendon again was in there mucking things up.
Yeah, working off the edge. You know he's going to keep it. He's trying to get to the inside. He gets hit right there, and he's a big guy. He needs time to build up his momentum, and he gets the pressure from the outside is able to slow him down, but they're going to go for it. Dabo going to be aggressive as well.
Got a physical quarterback who's very tough to bring down. Shipley, very hard to stop behind the line of scrimmage. Tigers 3 for 3 this season on their 4th down tries. 2 tight ends shift around to the left. Shipley in motion. High snap. Uiagalelei just on pure strength, even though the timing wasn't pretty, converts.
He just got behind his big left guard, Marcus Tate, 74. Watch Tate pull around. Little delay, waiting for the power play, the kind of a quarterback counter. See Tate kind of seal that edge, gave him a chance to be able to get to the corner. Gets hit right at the 1st down marker, but that's where when you're 6'4", 235 pounds, and you're running downhill, you're going to get it.
So a 3rd down conversion and a 4th down conversion. Now Shipley in the flat. Gets to the corner so quickly and darts forward. Picks up about 11. Jamie Robinson forced him out. Another 1st down, though.
Tough to stay with him. They'll stretch you outside with their receivers. Love to throw it to their backs. You get it, Shipley the ball out there. He makes one guy miss. Cooper the corner, and then he accelerates so suddenly.
Big part of the game plan. He's already caught 4 passes tonight.
Just find any way you can get the ball in his hands.
They fake it to him across the middle of his behind Davis Allen, the tight end who was running up the seam. That one's on DJ.
Again, these seam routes are giving Florida State problems, but here's Allen. He's working here, but you want to watch the safety back here. What does he do, right? Is he going to come up or is he going to sit back? He's up, so now you have the tight end that can work right there behind the safety. Instead, he throws it on a line, an absolute dart. If he floated that over top of 10, Allen walks to the end zone.
Takes a look and then takes off. Looked like a design run all the way. Wrestled down to the 25 by Lundy.
Big fella taking some hits tonight. He's not easy, doesn't easily go down, so he's just kind of target practice for some of those DBs coming in there late.
When they make it a touchdown and then making a tackle. Both ways tonight for the Noles. They're down again. They need 4.
They're going to put Nagata into the boundary. Let's look at the safety, the backside safety, to see if he's going to help out. Nagata's at the bottom, the safety right here. He stays on that hash. He'll go to the left.
Looks that way, delivers a long throw. And the catch is made by Williams, who scored the touchdown and now sets up Clemson inside the 10.
And when you have a safety over here, they're basically double teaming Nagata, taking him out. So you've got to go work the play side. You got to find one of these 3 receivers that's going to win. He goes to the freshman, Antonio Williams, who gives good separation and a good throw there. Nice protection to give DJ enough time to be able to read it, make an accurate throw.
He's become the first option among the receivers in this offense in his freshman season. Maffa right into a bunch of Garnet jerseys, takes up a yard. McClendon in there, helmet coming off, making another tackle.
He should have pulled that one on a zone read. You read that and you watch this right here. Watch this commitment down by 9. He pulls down. You pull that because he takes the back. You can pull that out and then walk around the corner for a touchdown, but They had predetermined to give that football in that zone read.
Perfect in the red zone. Almost always finding the end zone. Uyangalele has time and has a man and just finds Jake Brenningstool, the young, rangy tight end, who's a weapon in this offense as well. 4th touchdown of the season.
Florida State just loses 9 out in the flat. Just paying so much attention to these receivers. You got to be careful because of what the tight ends can do. You have two defenders taking the bigger receiver in Ngata. Nobody to the outside. Good read that time by DJ to throw it to the big, impressive sophomore from Nashville. That's right.
They like to shout at the Nashville.
Yeah, Ravenwood High School. Good program.
So Clemson answers the Seminoles marathon march with one of their own. 13 plays, 75 yards, 6.5 minutes. Offense is humming tonight, 14 apiece. Midway second and Doak Campbell. Bills and Chiefs, the marquee game tomorrow in Sunday NFL Countdown. We'll visit with Mahomes and Allen. They'll relive that epic playoff game last year. And a Monday night, Russell Wilson, can the Broncos navigate their way to the Holy Land? Can they find the end zone against the Chargers on Monday night? There's no Manning cast, by the way, because Peyton's going to be too busy. He's still celebrating Tennessee's victory.
Oh, my God. You imagine Knoxville as we're speaking right now?
We've been there for some celebrations, but maybe nothing like this.
I can't imagine.
Oh, the memories and the figures, the legends who've been a part of this rivalry. Good one in the making so far, 14 apiece. And Florida State, of course, used to run this conference. Clemson does now. So you borrow from Kirk's current gaming setup here to show you.
This is pre-Atari 2600.
FSU won 15 ACC titles. Bowden won 12 in his regime. But, of course, national championships. Clemson's claimed 2 recently, 1 back in 80, 3 for the Noles.
This is what we used to play. This is the game. It's like 82, 83. Maybe
if only they had a more modern college football video game.
If they
get to work on that.
If they only did. Went away. Hearing rumors.
And hearing stuff.
I am. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Fun. Empty backfield. Benson's in the slot. The Noles try to put together another drive as Clemson's answered. This is Benson looking for room, makes a nice cut, and just like that, picks up 6 on first down before Henry got him down.
Nice run, great vision that time. It looked like he had nowhere to go. They run again back into the boundary, and then he gets behind the center, Maurice Smith, to be able to put again that foot in the ground, get north and south, and instead of losing yards or shutting it down, he picks up 5.
78 rush yards for the Noles, and Benson adding to that total. Still running. First down, running over people. Running hard, and Tigers get knocked backwards.
Yeah, a little pin and pull. You're going to seal the edge and then get the lineman outside. It's a nice job here using that tight end on Miles Murphy. Now you get the big left tackle there, Robert Scott, and as we're seeing tonight, Benson gets a little bit of room.
Holly's getting fired up. She loves a pin and pull. She loves watching the offensive line play from field level, and Benson takes off. Oh, he just tripped as he tried to cut back. Was trying to elude a man in the open field, and the turf monster got him.
Well, they're going left and left and left. Watch this block right here by the left guard to Gibbons. Nice job of sustaining that block. You also saw 71 Emmanuel able to get to the backers, and they are giving Benson plenty of room. My gosh, he's running so good in the trenches. He gets in the space and he stumbles, loses his footing.
Inside the 40, Travis looking to throw on first down, rips it downfield. Juggling attempt, incomplete. That was big Johnny Wilson, even with that 7-foot wingspan, couldn't get it as Nate Wiggins was there to help.
Yeah, give Nate Wiggins a lot of credit. Number 20, one-on-one. It's a big, tall receiver at 6'7". Wiggins with the right hand. Once the ball looked like it was going to be caught, he didn't get his hands necessarily on that ball. Looks like he got the arm after he had his hands on it and knocks it away.
Wiggins has bounced back. He had a dismal Wake Forest game. He was really distraught, but strong games against the Wolfpack and the Eagles the last couple of weeks to kind of reclaim his mojo. 2nd and 10, play clock at 2. Travis flush, now comes back this way, trying to make some magic on the move. He flings it at the last minute. It was going to take a loss, and again tries to improvise a weird throw at the last possible second. It's incomplete.
It's better than taking a loss, right? Just get rid of the ball.
Sidearm bullet.
Whatever. Yeah. Shovel pass. Just get rid of the football. I think it's a heads-up play just to be able to keep that play alive. Again, keep in mind, this is a guy that's been through a lot of ups and a lot of downs as a starting quarterback. It's helped mold him into the player that he is now with all that experience.
3rd and 10. They're in very marginal field goal range for Ryan Fitzgerald. He was hitting him in warm-up.
Everybody standing up, moving around.
Travis has a lot of room. The rush came up, but it kind of parted. He fights, stretches, but is short of the marker. Trotter and Carter got him down. Now it's 4th and 2.
Mike Norvell has had an aggressive mindset tonight. He knows he needs to be aggressive because of DJ Uiagalelei and that offense. You got to move the ball. You got to, when you get into plus territory, take advantage of your opportunity. And they've been moving the ball.
Rather than try a long field goal, it would be close to 50 yards. He didn't hesitate. He's got his play card in his hand.
Like Bear just told me, they're averaging 6 yards a carry on the ground. See if they run it or try to throw it.
Travis has time, delivers, and it's broken up. Tried to squeeze it in there, but that was Nate Wiggins making his 2nd nice play on the drive, and the Tigers take over.
But give Nate Wiggins a lot of credit again. 2 big plays on this drive. He just read the eyes of the quarterback. He's sitting back in zone, reads the eyes, and then gets to that football and knocks it away. Where is it?
AT&T 5G Skycam zooming over a packed Doak Campbell Stadium. Skycast, AT&T 5G bringing it to you on the ESPN app. Tigers, the last 2 possessions, 75 and 73-yard touchdown drives. This is Shipley on the edge, and in those drives, DJ throwing the football 6 for 7 with 2 touchdown passes.
See if you can keep that going. We got a big moth in here. Hit that thing. Get it.
It wouldn't be the panhandle without big old bugs in the booth, right?
That thing had a heck of a diameter. It was huge. Had some shoulders on it.
A physical moth. 2nd and 7. Shipley again. His 5th catch tonight. Can he find a crease? No. Knocked down. Good job to fight off the block there by Kevin Knowles. It'll be 3rd and short.
So a little sweep to the left. Work the edge, make those defensive backs have to tackle the corners and the safeties. That's the first play. They come back the very next play. Again, get him out of the edge this time. Motion, put the ball out there, get the tight end Davis Allen out in front. Get those DBs involved in defending the running back in space.
Take a timeout here before this 3rd and 1 play.
This halftime report just minutes away. Booger McFarland, Dan Mullen, Kevin Nagani here. Best college football weekend of the season. A number of top 25 teams go down, including Alabama, Dan.
Yeah, that Tennessee win to see where they go, how high they jump, also opens up the door for USC. Playing really well right now, as well as see what Clemson happens here with Florida State.
And then what about TCU? They were down at home, but the guts and the resiliency of Max Duggan, outstanding.
Highlights coming your way, Chris Kirk.
Shipley, meanwhile, on a 3rd down, hit hard by Tatum Bethune, the linebacker. They're going to spot him short. Dabo thinks they've got it. They haven't moved the sticks yet.
He's already going to go tempo. He looks like he wants to go fast here.
Ooh, from his own 40, huh?
Well, see if they're short, because that 2nd effort may have gotten enough.
You see the yellow line there. They're going to make sure bring out the markers.
What tough running here, because Bethune makes a great hit short of the 1st down. But watch Shipley's leg drive. Bang, right there. He's short, but he doesn't give up. Look at the leg drive. It looked like he got across that line.
Almost impossible to stop him behind the line. You look at the back, see yards lost is always something I look at. I mean, Shipley had almost 0 hit behind the line. strength, it's also will. He just has a big heart.
Yeah. A good scheme.
Well, the yellow line was not exactly the same as the yard markers. It is a first down. A couple links of that chain.
They're due for a shot downfield. You know, they've been throwing some intermediate throws, a lot of throws out on the perimeter, quick throws to Shipley and these receivers. Try to get those safeties walked up. Remember, he's missed a few crossing routes where he could have thrown for touchdown passes. It just feels like they're going to try to take a shot if they can get the safeties up and get some one-on-one chances.
Got the touchdown to Williams on a coverage bust earlier. It's the one shot they've really taken. Shipley fighting, twisting, and it's out to the 46.
The more they're able to run like that, the more that Akeem Dent and Jamie Robinson, number 27 and 10, have to respect the threat of Shipley and his offensive line, and they start getting lulled to sleep. There's Knowles, their nickelback, who took a big hit, went into the tent, and now is heading into the locker room. But you start getting those safeties walking up, you get those one-on-one chances to those big receivers, Ngata and Collins.
Reed Vance takes Knowles' place in the secondary on 2nd and 5. Shipley again. Darts for a first down. We get to this middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the half, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. Clemson has preached this for years. The analytics shows it's crucial to success. And here they go again, Kirk, trying to take the lead before halftime.
They pride themselves on that. Nice job, by the way, of that right side of the offensive line.
They'll get the football to begin the third quarter, so this is a crucial stretch for this Knowles defense.
Mitchell Mays, the backup right tackle right now, is in for Blake Miller, and had a really nice block there to help open that up.
First down, Uiagalelei straight back under pressure, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. That was Tatum Bethune on the blitz.
Yeah, Bethune against Shipley, one-on-one. Shipley usually pretty good in pass pro. You get pressure from the backer coming around, and he's got to pick it up. Watch this matchup. Who's going to win? One-on-one, bang. He gets right off, bounces off that shoulder, and affects Uiagalelei trying to throw the football. He felt it. He felt the pressure, tried to kind of ease himself away within the pocket, but Shipley's got to help him out there on pass pro.
Been kept pretty clean tonight. 1 sack, but he hasn't been pressured that often. Pulls it, flips it short. Allen, the tight end, with a big stiff arm, and he's muscled out near the marker by Brendan Gant, a backup linebacker. Third down.
Well, they confused the defense. Allen's here, the guard's here. They're pulling initially, and then he comes back, and watch the defense respond to Allen moving. Looks like he's going to go the other way. The defense starts to go with him, and then they don't go back with him. Well-designed play there by Brandon Streeter. So often you see that tight end kind of hide and go from the backside. This time he starts to go and then work back and confuses the defense.
The 3rd and short, need a yard, and Shipley says no problem. Dives for it. Looks like they'll just nose the football for a first down at the 33.
Usually they are so up-tempo and attack mode. They've been a little bit slower here, not afraid to work that clock.
Ideally, they'd like to find the end zone and leave Florida State in no time. And that one high and off the hands of Big Allen, defended by a much smaller guy in Dent, but he did a good job.
Did a good job, and this just shows you the importance of accuracy by a quarterback. I mean, he's good separation, soft coverage, puts it out there early, anticipates. But a 6'6" receiver with a big catch radius, he still throws it high. And because it's high, that allows Dent to be able to make a play on it, because Allen's not able to secure the ball with the ball thrown too high.
2 tight ends in the game, both flexed out. And now Shipley goes in motion. Uiagalelei looking to run all the way. Dodges some traffic and falls forward for about 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now.
Use Shipley as a decoy with that motion. Try to affect the eyes, make Florida State get outside, work outside, and then go with the quarterback draw. But the Noles not fooled at all. Watch Shipley get out of there. See how the Noles respond. But a pretty good play right here of responding, getting back in, and helping to prevent him from being able to get, again, with the size of him, he wants to get downhill. If you make him have to change direction, he's not very effective as a runner.
Norvell takes a timeout on defense. This defense has been out there in in this quarter. 2 long drives by Clemson and another one in the making here. Goodyear providing aerial coverage, road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Uiagalelei says he was relishing this road game. The John Bosco Braves in LA, they use the war chant, so he's used to hearing this same war chant the Seminole fans use from the home crowd back in high school. He said, I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more people do it than I heard in high school.
Yeah, he said it feel like a home game, and he just has always loved, a lot of guys love to get on the road, kind of an us against the world mentality.
Here comes the noise on 3rd and 7. Noles rush 4. Uiagalelei checks it down, incomplete. Overled Ngata, and it's 4th down. It's a field goal range for BT Potter, but barely here. We'll see what they do.
Well, I think they were anticipating right here a crosser, but watch, the linebacker doesn't quite have the speed, so the safety ends up contributing and helping too, just in case it's able to be caught. But look where that ball is thrown. Out a little bit too far, and again, accuracy issue there, which we've not seen a lot of this year from Uiagalelei, but have tonight.
Potter's 2 for 4 from beyond 40 yards this year. He's got a cannon for a leg, well within his range at 47. For the lead for the first time, and he drives it right through. For the Tigers, 12-play methodical drive, settle for the first field goal kick tonight. Comes off the foot strong.
Yeah, it's perfectly hit by the kicker, Potter, and he's pretty consistent.
Well, the Sweeney holding dynasty does their job. It was Clay and Drew. Holly, what do you got for us?
Well, you talked about that being right at the edge of his field goal range, 47-yarder. Just watching in pregame warmups, he hit a 59-yard field goal. Dabo Sweeney saw BT Potter do it, and he walked around and said, hey, good to know that if I need a 59-yarder, I've got you in my pocket. So this kid's leg is booming.
Now, I was within his range, but he has not been automatic from beyond 40. He's certainly got the ability to boot it a lot longer than that. And second in Clemson history in points scored, Travis Etienne has the record. It's within his range, actually. They keep kicking field goals. Well, a little while ago, Terrell Buckley, T-Buck, remember him? Great defensive back for the Noles, late 80s, early 90s, won the Jim Thorpe Award, 14 years in the NFL, going to be inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame, and they honored him here. T-Buck, that was the era when I started to cover the Seminoles on the sideline, late 80s. Talented.
He was
flamboyant guy.
Very flamboyant. 27. Okay, now you got a minute 51. You got 2 timeouts, and you got a quarterback that's feeling pretty good. See what they do.
Underneath. That's another completion to Johnny Wilson.
Keep an eye on Jordan Travis here. Just watch his energy. Watch how much command he has here in this 2-minute drill.
Tigers defensive line shifts around. Toafili takes the handoff, makes a move, and now explodes. Toafili's into Clemson territory. And a nice block from Cam McDonald, the tight end.
Yeah, and also watch Scott, the left tackle. A little kick out on Xavier Thomas. Gives him that lane. He actually ends up bouncing it outside of him. The hole was designed for him to go up underneath, but the leverage changed and he quickly adjusted.
You don't see many teams run for 136 in the first half against Clemson. Travis tried to pitch the ball up. It wasn't there. He'll duck down and take a loss.
That was a mess. Miles Murphy created the hesitation. And then you just saw the entire defensive line chase him down. Still 2 timeouts. We're at a minute at this point.
Not a great deal of urgency here. And now a sack back at the 41. That was Miles Murphy again. A flag is out. The ball is out, and it's a turnover. At the end of the play, Murphy knocked it loose, and a takeaway with 47 seconds to go.
Yeah, Miles Murphy gets around the left tackle, Scott, and instead of going for the sack, he goes for the football. Watch him work around with this quickness, and then look at the hands attack the football. You can see Travis right away reacts, trying to find the ball. Wow, that's what great pass rushers do, right? NFL or college, the elite guys, they do a good job of being able to knock the ball loose, and then the big guy, Tyler Davis, pounces on it. Talked about the end of the 4, the beginning 4, middle 8. Clemson loves this.
Fumbles have been a problem for Travis, and the Clemson defensive line knew that. They worked a lot on knocking it free. They do a great job of that. Travis has been working on ball security. His 4th fumble of the year. Now the Tigers trying to add to the 3-point lead. They have all 3 timeouts. Just about in Potter's range, as Holly told you. But Shipley takes off, not thinking field goal. Knifing down inside the 10. And Clemson doing what they do. Green saved the touchdown.
Great block by Parks, the right guard, and a linebacker just shot the wrong gap. Busted an assignment, and it opened up for Shipley.
36 yards. Clock running. Clemson with plenty of time. Shipley again. Ducks under and is knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and they'll spend the timeout here.
Watch the linebacker end up shooting inside, takes himself right out of the play, and then it opens up on the right side. No safety support with a middle field safety. 10 Robinson unable to take the proper angle. I think he maybe underestimated how quick Shipley would get on him. But the linebacker, the leader, Bethune, just not there in the gap.
Talked about the MO for Clemson. That middle 8, last 4, first 4. Straddling halftime. NC State, BC, touchdowns late second, touchdowns early 3rd. They're trying to do the same here with 10 late points and get the football to begin the 3rd quarter.
And that's perfect right there. This guy got a little grass on the forehead, grass stains on the jersey.
I said Dabo's the kind of guy that could carry it 30 times. Kind of go back to C.J. Spiller. It's been a long time since they had a kind of a workhorse guy carry it that often. He said, absolutely. The dude has tremendous stamina.
Yeah, and he got off to such a great start. And in the last couple of weeks against NC State and Boston College, he had 60 against NC State, 33 last week. And getting him, it was an emphasis coming into this game to get him going again. And he's at 67, averaging just under 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, 15 touches in the first half with those 5 receptions. Keeper Uiagalelei will just waltz to the end zone, and Clemson gets the forced fumble by Murphy and cashes it in, and will take a 10-point lead to the locker room.
Remember, he's misread a couple of these zone reads and handed the ball off when he could have pulled it. When you get Shipley going, that defense starts to get locked in on number 1. And this time he was more patient, stayed on that ride, read the end man McClendon, and pulled it. And because he pulled it, he's able to walk into the end zone.
4th time that he's run for a touchdown this year, to go with his 2 touchdown passes in the opening half. Both quarterbacks have been efficient. Both offenses have clicked in the red zone, but that takeaway sets up the touchdown.
Yeah, Miles Murphy, you go to your leaders when the game's on the line, right? Critical moment into the first half. Tyler Davis picks it up. Shipley gets a big run. That defense starts to be worried about, man, we got to take number 1 out. And that's what sets up this touchdown, is the end man on the line of scrimmage collapses. 9, he's reading 9, he's down, picks up a block by Davis Allen. And just like that, Clemson strikes and gets up by 10.
10 points in a minute and a half. It says Dabo, this is what we do. They practice this a lot. Urgency at the end of the first half. They'll actually practice halftime. Every minute is accounted for in that locker room. They come out humming, start the 3rd quarter. So the Noles defense is going to be up against it right away at the beginning of the 3rd quarter here. 14 apiece. This place was rocking. The Noles were driving, couldn't convert. And Clemson has grabbed momentum. Tonight on ESPN, top-ranked boxing down in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. Devin Haney, the American, undisputed lightweight champion. It's George Kambosos Jr. Rod Laver Arena. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite places. That's where they have the Aussie Open.
Yeah, you love it.
I do.
Would be a good scene for a boxing match, you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
They've had swimming competitions in there. They flood the place and have swimming, which is big down there, obviously.
Yeah, do it all.
99 Malcolm Ray getting an early start to the locker room. Clemson ran 36 plays in the first half. Beautiful balance. Travis. He'll fling it down there. It's incomplete. Tried to find Pittman. They're not just going to run the ball and take a cautious approach to the end of the half, trying to make something happen.
Especially after the fumble that results in a touchdown for Clemson. Jordan Travis is at his best when the ball is out of his hands quickly. When they had their drives, 175, another one over 90 yards, it was a mix, but very rarely is he back there holding on to the ball. He's a point guard. He is great when it's ball out quick, running the football, just wheeling and dealing.
Early on, this Clemson defensive front, which is so highly touted, bunch of future Sunday guys, was getting pushed around to the run game, but the pass rush has begun to impose. Travis is going to escape and scoot out of bounds, and he's hit, and that could cost him 15. Trenton Simpson got there. The crowd wants it. I don't see a marker down. 5 seconds to go before halftime.
He gets pushed when he's in bounds by Simpson. He's in bounds, gets pushed. If he really wanted to draw, he'd just fall. If you fall, guys like Bill will fall for that. You know, Bill would see the quarterback down. He'd think, "Oh my gosh, that's 15 yards."
He got shoved in the paint there.
He
started in bounds.
On the grass, yeah, it started in bounds. But Bill will fall for that. These officials, you can get them.
I'm not touching that, Kurt. and I would never protect you with that.
Oh, there you go. The shots are being fired here. Knowles are going to spend the time out to figure out what they can possibly do here with the last 5 seconds. You know, you try to game plan against that defensive front. You figure these guys are all so good. Who are you going to pay attention to? Who are you going to double team? Murphy got up to a quiet start this season, but he has been a wrecking crew tonight. 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks and a forced fumble.
Well, you have it all there. I've been impressed with the edge of the Clemson defense. You know, they have done a good job here these last few possessions of getting Travis into those obvious passing situations where you can turn on the athletic ability. But the Noles, man, they had so much equity built up, so much momentum, and just like that, they have the fumble, and then Shipley and DJ Uiagalelei make them pay for it with the combination of the runs, and just like that, you're down 10. So I could see why they're trying to get something here at the end of the half. Now they're just going to have to hope here on this last play.
You see and why Clemson has, the exception last year, kind of run this conference. They know how to handle the road. They know how to weather the storm and the emotion. They were a big target. They were everybody's Super Bowl in the ACC, the way the Florida State team used to be. Travis, well, they're just going to try to get it off short. And the last play of the first half will be a Toafili reception. So it's a promising start. 14 apiece, and then Clemson took their first lead and then add the late touchdown off the takeaway. Both offenses over 235 in the first half. Clemson does not blow halftime leads, longest streak in the FBS. The Dish halftime report. Kevin and the guys coming up right after these messages.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
We're set for the second half in Tallahassee. Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One. This presentation of the ACC on ESPN and the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. Well, Jordan Travis and the Seminoles have some work to do. It was 14 apiece before Uiagalelei and the Tigers got it going, and they'll get the football first. They've scored in the last 4 possessions, so the Noles got to find a way to get the football back and then cut into this lead. The running game worked well in the first half, but can they stay patient with that now?
Well, I think the first thing is what you just said. You've got a team right now in Clemson after 4 straight possessions of they think they've found the answers. Now you go into halftime, you're Florida State, you make your adjustments with Adam Fuller, and you try to find a way to try to get the ball back to Jordan Travis and see if you can get some confidence going again.
Shipley from the goal line made an impact as a runner and a receiver, and now as a returner. Look out! Shipley in a foot race. Can they run him down? Yes, they'll tackle him at the 30. But a huge play to begin the second half from the Tigers starting running back.
Oh, that's how you start a second half. Great blocking and a good feel. He just sets these blocks up, and then he's tough to bring down. He ran right through the poor kicker. I thought he was going to get all the way to the end zone, and he's chased down there at the very end. And it was not Pittman. It's Kalen Deloach, the linebacker, that brought him down. Shipley almost takes a opening kick to start the second half all the way to the end zone.
69-yard return, exactly what the Seminole defense did not need to give the Tigers a short field. Try to build on this 10-point lead. Shipley getting the breather. Amafa's in there now. It's a reverse, a flea flicker. Uyunglele pitches down the middle. Touchdown, Davis Allen. Quick strike, Clemson. Wow, that happened fast. 31-yard touchdown strike.
Boy, did this set up perfectly for Clemson.
Gadgetry from Brandon Streeter. That play was beautifully timed. Shipley set him up, and then Uyunglele's third touchdown pitch tonight. Davis Allen joining Jake Brenningstool. Each of the tight ends have a touchdown catch tonight. And suddenly the lead is 17, 19 seconds into the third quarter.
Let's keep an eye on the execution of what's going to happen here. Williams will come around, but what you want to watch is the safeties and what happens with the routes. Look at the tight end. He's eventually going to work down. This receiver going downfield, Collins, gets the corner out of the way, and then they sneak the tight end who is setting up the block, gets lost by the linebacker, Bethune. See 84 there? He just kind of shows up like he's going to block. 15 is late to react. And good patience by Uyunglele, who wanted to go to Collins. It was taken away, and because it was taken away, it opens up the wheel route there by the tight end, Allen.
Those plays they're fun to practice, right? And when you get into a big game like this, Brandon Streeter calls.
Hi, Stephen.
You're right. Fun.
You're so right. It's like one of those plays they do on a Thursday or
you run here, you put you go out down there.
Man, you're never going to call this. They call it after the big kickoff return, first play. By the way, that's 17 points in 2 minutes of game time for Clemson.
There's the Modelo fighting spirit. Something tells me it's going to involve DJ here.
Yeah, and this goes back to the first half. The pocket presence, the strength to be able to shake off that pass rush and stay calm, be able to make that throw downfield, some recognition of being able to be patient. Eventually finds his tight end out in the flat for a touchdown. He's run the football. Hadn't been a perfect game. He's been challenged by this Noles defense. But here, the patience. Let Collins clear the corner. And then eventually Allen gets down that left sideline and beats the backer for the touchdown.
Man, this was an even fight for about 25 minutes. And now the Noles suddenly find themselves hit by a few haymakers on the ropes, just trying to answer here. And the Tigers defense is swarming. A row. Having Toafili behind the line.
Row right here, and row. Somebody pick him up. Nobody picks him up. It's the first time we've really seen the Noles. That was Maurice Smith, who would like to have that one back, or maybe some help from the left guard. It's the first time we've seen him kind of rattle, kind of becoming uncomfortable, and the Clemson defense playing with a lot of momentum and confidence right now.
A rush for Travis, flushed and delivers a short completion. It's Cameron McDonald, but it's going to be third down and long. Trotter corralled him quickly. A.J. Henry was in the quarterback's face again. 3rd and 12 now. I mean, you haven't stopped him 5 straight possessions. It's suddenly a 17-point game. Mike Norvell just looking for a way to convert this, to get a drive going.
You mentioned Henry. You got Xavier Thomas back. You got Murphy up here. You just keep rotating their ends to stay fresh. they can put pressure on a quarterback without blitzing.
Yeah, 3rd and 12, not ideal against this group. Travis has time and delivers, but it's underneath and far short of the marker to McDonald. Jalen Phillips tackled him, and here comes the punt team.
Well, you know about the pressure we just talked about off the edge, right? But watch the big man, Tyler Davis, get a push in the inside. Boom, just pushing like a bull. It's going right through that that offensive line. That was Darius Washington. Just got thrown into the backfield. Makes the quarterback just got to get rid of the ball. Can't hold it.
Antonio Williams, the freshman, had a touchdown reception earlier in the game, back to receive the punt. He's not one of those guys that came in early. Didn't get to Clemson until June, but comes out of that Dutch Fork High School. It's a fake. Is it shades of the punt Ruski? Bobby Bowden's famous play worked against Clemson a long time ago. This one did not work. Gamble doesn't pay off, and another short field for Sweeney's team.
That's great awareness by this the punt return team. They're not fooled at all. There was an awareness, an alert, anticipation. Like Brandon Spector got involved there.
It's part of the lore of this rivalry is the punt Ruski. I mean, Bobby Bowden, outrageous call deep in his own end, the lead, and it worked out that night. But Dabo says that's why
somebody's
spent so much time on special teams.
Somebody's fired up down there.
Well, Clemson,
sudden change. You take a shot.
Trying to put in an early dagger in the 3rd quarter here. Great field position for the 3rd consecutive possession. Keeper Uiagalelei will be stopped a yard short. Got to go way back to '88. Remember, this is just legendary. The fake snap. And you almost have to get to the up man.
Just to remind people, it goes to the up man and between the legs. And this is back in the era when people didn't go for it, right? But Bobby Bowden, pioneer.
3-point game. They went to Clemson and they pulled off the upset. Bad news that Jared Verse, the excellent pass rusher for the Seminoles, is being looked at by the athletic training staff. Take a break. Knowles reeling, just trying to hang on here. Jared Verse was able to walk off. That's relief. Not in there now. As the Knowles defense just desperate to get a stop here and stop the bleeding. 2nd and 11. Maffa in the flat. He chased him down, but he gets to the edge and scoots out of bounds, about 3 or 4 yards short. Deloach forced him out. Holly?
You guys checking in with Coach Mike Norvell of Florida State at the half. He gave me an injury update on Malcolm Ray. Big number 99 is back in there, and that's good. They need more depth on the defensive front. Kevin Knowles, their nickel, has also been able to return. Number 3 is in there now, but I did see them doing some ligament stability tests on the left knee of Jared Verse. That's the knee that he's had injured 2 weeks ago, and I'll give you a further update on him when I get it.
Injured versus Wake. Hasn't been full speed since. 3rd and 3. Uiagalelei again escapes pressure. They were surrounding him. They couldn't get him to the ground, and now he makes them pay. Scoots for a first down in the red zone.
Why, Patrick Payton looked like he had a sack. The blind side, again, he's a big man.
Offense number 8. 10-yard penalty. Right down.
Yep, Adam Randall, the receiver, but you're right. How did he get out of there?
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's tough to bring down. Right here, watch 56. Work around the left tackle, McFadden, and it looks like right there as Uiagalelei's retreating because of the push up the middle. He's able to avoid that and pick up some yards, but with the holding call by Randall, actually bring it back for another 3rd down play. That holding was downfield.
Spot foul makes it 3rd and 3.
Dabo's trying to get a look at him up there. Good sprint work there. Works on that.
He does. He's the fastest down the hill.
He is.
Home games.
Yep. He's at least a 4.95 flat when he gets down.
Norvell thinks he can run too. I'd like to see head coach race.
He's jacked. I mean, he can go.
Comes to the Guardians, the Commanders getting used to that. Here the Seminoles have the full support and blessing. It's a cooperative venture with the Seminole Tribe of Florida here. Live Moss student section, 16,000 plus here. The Live Moss student section of the year contest. still up for grabs. 3rd and 3. Big play for this embattled Noles defense. Maffa in the flat. They stretch it out. They're ready for that play this time, but they can't get him to the ground. Kalen DeLoach missed it. It's a first down for Clemson. That stings.
Yeah, Kalen DeLoach is right here. Let's watch him because he's got the speed to be able to get outside. He knows it's coming. Gets around the block. He makes the play, and he just can't bring him down. All that work to be able to get there. And what about the effort there by Maffa? Hand down, raises himself up, keeps his backside off the ground, and gets the first down.
Williams motioned back and then got knocked down. You know, this Noles defense does play with good effort and energy, but finishing plays, it was a problem in Wake Forest. Finishing tackles, winning the contested catches. It's been a little bit of a problem in these recent weeks, and it is again tonight.
Yeah, and when you're playing Clemson, your margin of error, you just have to put a complete game together, a complete series, a drive, everything that you're doing. It's the little things that can add up and make the difference in keeping a drive alive.
Maffa again in the flat. Use that play incredibly frequently, and that time it's a short game. Saw Mickey Andrews in the hallway. Of course, the legendary defensive coordinator all those years, Bobby Bowden, says he likes what he sees here, but the difference is back in his era, they had so many dudes who could dominate individual matchups, take over a game. He said there were none on the Noles defense a year ago. They're slowly piecing it together, but a ways to go.
Yeah, I think Mike Norvell's doing it the right way. It takes time to build it up from what he inherited. And he didn't inherit what Mickey Andrews worked with. You know, no. This is going to take some time to build it up. It's definitely got a different feel this year.
3rd and 9. Shipley in space makes a cut and another first down.
How great is this? Where they're clearly emphasizing with Brandon Streeter. We're going to get the ball to the backs out on the flat. We're just going to try to find a way. If we're not going to be able to run the ball necessarily in a dominant fashion, let's make sure we continue to feed the backs and get them the ball with these defensive backs. The corners and safeties have to try to come up and tackle our running backs, not just the receivers, but the backs.
Yeah, Peyton weighs 250. Not easy for him to chase down number 1. And this is Maffa dodging at tackles, driving those legs. He'll be knocked down at the 5.
Well, this guy is not just a power back. And when Dabo gets bullish about a guy, you know that he means it. And Maffa with pace down is getting more carries. Look at this jump cut. I mean, that's a 230-pound back.
Dabo sprinting down the sidelines. Doesn't matter. DJ's going to pull it and walk in. There's a flag down. Flag came in late in the run. Dabo smelled something wasn't right. He was charging down.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
He's down to the 5-yard line, and it's a hold. It's on Blake Miller. The freshman's had a little bit of a rough night.
Seems like these coaches on these perennial powers, the bigger the margin, the more frustrated they get. He was trying to get to the official before the play. You and I were just saying how, okay, they're going to be able to walk into the end zone, and that's what they called the hold on, right?
Well, he walked in.
Yeah. That's not what he was upset about. He was upset about something pre-snap.
Yep. 2nd and 13. Quick drop. Throw to the end zone. Incomplete. Joseph Ngata was well covered by Bernardo Green.
That's asking a lot out of Green. 6 feet, 185 pounds. Out of Orlando. He's their best cover guy. He's up against Ngata one-on-one. Doesn't have a safety behind him, just a fade. One-on-one, 50-50 ball. He gets his right hand on the ball. Pretty tight coverage there.
It's amazing. You know, they have not targeted Bo Collins tonight. The high school teammate Uangalale. Quiet night. They featured the backs and the tight ends. Williams has the touchdown catch, but number 80 hasn't been targeted at all. He's up to the left side there. Uangalale trying to run for it, but no. Couldn't get away from big Dennis Briggs Jr. Shaheem Brown came on the quick rush.
If 7 guys up here You only have 6 to be able to help out if you include the running back. So you have 1 more with the pressure, and that pocket just collapses. Outside pressure, he tries to walk up, step up, but with a middle linebacker blitzing too, just nowhere to go.
P.T. Potter played his worst game of his career in that tight win over the Noles last year. Missed 3 field goals. He has been rock solid tonight and rock solid inside 40 all year. 8 for 8. This for a 20-point lead midway in the third quarter. No problem for BT. So Clemson continues to pile up points, and the Noles climb is getting steeper by the minute. We always bring up the middle 8 in a Clemson game because they emphasize it and excel at it. Look at tonight. 17 points in the 15 plays. Last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half. And Noles not able to generate much, and this has gotten out of hand with 27 unanswered points for the Tigers. Kirk, they've scored in the last 6 possessions.
Yeah, they definitely have it going really on both sides of the ball. Florida State early in this game, they were playing very well and really had some good schemes designed offensively.
Curtis Wilson, the All-State bus here in Tallahassee. Let me guess what the mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate is today.
A lot of great games today, none bigger than Tennessee. Congratulations to the Volunteers. They had to work for this. 3.5 minutes to go. They tie it up. It looked like Bama may have a chance at 20 seconds. Potential game-winning field goal. No! Miss it to the right. You're thinking we're headed to overtime. Nope, not with Hendon Hooker. Gets him in field goal range and a knuckle curve. Gets across and in for the win. And right now, they are celebrating in Knoxville, Tennessee like they haven't seen in a long, long time. Look at that.
Couldn't play Bryce Young. It was some question, would he play? He played lights out.
Yeah, he played great.
Benson tackled down. You know, Tennessee has shot right up. They were given no chance preseason, but the All-State playoff predictor now has them up to 6%.
Let me throw this little, speaking of knuckle curve.
Still 56%.
They beat Alabama. I don't know how they're behind 56, but they beat Alabama. They go to Athens on November 12th. Let's say they go there and they might win it, but let's just say they were to lose, hard-fought, close game. They don't go to Atlanta. That's their only loss. They'd have a strong case to still go and potentially be a playoff team after that win today.
Especially if the SEC championship game result goes their way. Completion underneath to Wilson. But what it also creates, besides boosting Tennessee, is creating serious urgency for Saban and the Tide. No margin for error. Would you agree the rest of the way?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And Alabama's defense, just so strange to see them give up big plays. And even last week against Texas A&M, they were able to hold on. They follow it up this week, giving up, what was it? What did you say? 52 points. Can't say that's happened very often, but Josh Heupel has a great offense and a quarterback and a system. They're going to be a tough out for anybody.
Jordan Travis needs to make a play here on 3rd and 5. There's a flag down as he scrambles and lofts it downfield, and the catch is made by Ja'Kai Douglas, who's making his debut, first game of the season, finally healthy, but it's going to come back. One of those pre-snap penalties.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 offensive players started their shift. Were not set before the ball was snapped. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It was costly before when it was Pittman. They're trying to play CFL ball with a couple guys moving around.
Well, they finally have a chance to convert. Travis avoiding that pressure, buys a little bit of time.
28-yard gain negated.
Yep, boom, just like that. And now they're way behind the sticks here on 3rd down.
Tigers bring 4, and they affect the quarterback. He had to get rid of it early there, tried to find McLean. Tyler Davis getting involved, and here comes the punt team yet again for Florida State.
How about the push again by this defensive line? Tyler Davis has had a great night. He's not maybe getting sacks, but he is affecting the quarterback and making him throw the ball before he's ready to. Just bull rushing those offensive linemen.
Clemson employing 2 punt returners. Back deep to field this from Mastromano. Kicks it high. And Williams will wave for a fair catch at the 35. Let's go down to the den, bring in Chris Felica for the Affleck trivia question.
Tonight's Affleck trivia question. Looked like we might be in jeopardy of the streak being snapped earlier in the game, but not so much anymore. Tonight's Affleck trivia question. Who was the opposing quarterback the last time a top 5 Clemson team lost to an unranked opponent?
A top 5 Clemson team. Okay, so rather going way, way back, or it's just in this recent run of success for the Tigers. Give us a second. Got to ask Bear how his picks were today.
Oh my gosh! You remember when they played on like a Thursday or Friday night? We were at East Tennessee State. They played Syracuse at the Carrier Dome, and Kelly Bryant was the quarterback. Bang! I finally might have accidentally stumbled into an answer.
Right, but who were they? Top 5 at that moment?
I think they were.
Who was that quarterback?
Kelly Bryant.
Kelly Bryant. Oh,
Kelly Bryant was the quarterback. Are we trying to give you the Clemson quarterback?
the opposing quarterback.
The opposing quarterback.
Opposing quarterback. Who's the guy for Syracuse?
Oh my gosh! What was that dude's name?
Was it Tommy DeVito? Who?
Oh my gosh! Wait a second.
Bear, just are we warm? Are we on the right track?
You have the game. You have the
and
game.
Bear, were we at East Tennessee?
I think we were. It was a Friday night game at the Dome, yes.
Yeah, I remember. I just don't remember who the Syracuse quarterback was.
Well, then you aren't going to answer the question correctly.
Wait a minute. You get partial credit?
I remember him being
Holly, does Holly know?
A really athletic.
She knew last week.
A dual threat guy.
I remember it not being about the quarterback play for Syracuse that night, though. Shipley's going to be knocked down short, and it'll be 4th down.
No, Troy. I'm going to say Troy Nunes. I'm going to say Troy Nunes. Bear. Bear, you're quiet. You're quiet.
Well, I just don't know if we're going to be answering the Affleck trivia question just yet or not.
I am going Troy Nunes, and I'm feeling good.
He gets official. He has to officially
I do
answer
have to
it.
officially answer, yes.
Okay.
4th down. It's about 1.5 yards here. Almost 2. And Dabo apparently in the mood to take a gamble in his own end, up by 20. Interesting to see if they actually snap it.
He's trying to draw him off.
For sure. Play clock down 2-1, and they do not run a 4th down play. That would be, it shows confidence in your offense, but not in the playbook up 20 on your side of the field.
Start. Offense, number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
As Will Putnam the jump, we'll never know if they were going to actually run a play. I don't think so.
No. I think they're drawing them off.
Well, we have a stop for the Seminoles defense after 6 straight scoring drives.
The bleeding there.
Micah Pittman back deep. Clemson, by the way, you saw that Shipley return. The #1 rated special teams in the country by Pro Football Focus. They have 4 blocks on the year. That's why. Two field goals, 2 punts. Hadn't done a whole lot in the return game until tonight. But Potter solid on the field goal. So overall, the Clemson special teams continue to shine. Pretty good coverage here on cue as a wrap up. Pittman dropping right there at the 20. Now we have to officially bring in Berg. He likes to be by the textbook here.
Very official.
Yes.
Well, I'm a rule follower, and I just want to make sure we take care of business. So we did ask you tonight's Affleck trivia question: who was the opposing quarterback the last time a top 5 Clemson team lost to an unranked team? It was that 2017 game at Syracuse, and it was Eric Dungy who was the quarterback for the Orange. Syracuse, by the way, Clemson's opponent next week, the undefeated Syracuse Orange.
The last time
Bill Bonnell's undefeated Orangeman.
Billy Bonnell's squad, everybody's squad. It seems like it's Syracuse. Hey, what?
Sean McDonough's, Mike Tirico's, or everybody.
Last time they were undefeated this late in the year.
It's been
1980.
Donovan McNabb era, I'm going to say. Is that right?
No, he said 87.
Yes,
like McPherson's era. 87.
Right, not McPherson.
Not McPherson. Great quarterback. Man, in the 80s and 90s, you didn't want to play Syracuse.
Remember, I covered a Penn State-Syracuse game at Beaver Stadium when the Orange came away with a win.
They were
Coach McPherson,
they were good. Yeah.
Toafili continues to run hard. It's a powerful running game that had Clemson reeling early, but the problem is, down 20 here, time bleeding away.
I think you just to get something going, go back to what was working earlier, which was a lot of the quick game, a lot of runs to the outside, making these defensive backs that play a lot of man-to-man. There's some alleys out there. The offensive line was winning when they were going back to that running game. They were averaging over 6 yards a carry when they were in this game.
Downfield shot over the head of Wilson there. Well, this offense has struggled in the second half. Last week against NC State, they couldn't get anything going after halftime. Super productive in the first half, and then it was punts and interceptions after halftime.
Yeah, he's feeling the pain that you're talking about, and it's very, very different. If you watch the early part of this game, you and I would get to a break and we'd say, wow, we got a game on our hands, and they were just executing flawlessly. And ever since they lost their footing, they just have not been able to regroup on this side of the ball. He had Wilson there, by the way, a step or two ahead of Sheridan Jones.
Keeper, Travis makes a cut and dives out near midfield for a first down.
I know we're under 2 minutes to go in the third, but down 20. But I still think if you go back to what was working, you might eat a little bit more clock than you'd like to, but at least you're going to be able to potentially move the ball and move the sticks. Give yourself a chance to score. There you go.
Toafili again makes the catch, and they are in Clemson territory, moving with a little bit of urgency. You'll see the tempo probably crank up here.
Yeah, and of course Clemson with Wes Goodwin, their defensive coordinator, they're in that mode of let's try to keep everything in front. So you should have some of those quicker throws, those underneath throws, to at least give your athletes a chance to make a play like this.
Toafili at the edge again. Both offensive coordinators using the backs a lot tonight.
Got a Clemson player down over on the Florida State sideline. Looks like Jalen Phillips.
They just got healthy in the defense. They got 3 defensive backs back tonight who were out against Boston College. Yeah, that is, you can see the 25 now. You're right, that is Jalen Phillips. Speaking of our buddy Sean McDonough, ESPN Hockey Night Tuesday. Flyers Lightning. And the Kings against the Preds in Nashville. Beloved Avalanche, they dropped the banner the other night. Nice win on opening night, going for back-to-back cups.
What's that like? You just having the, I mean,
it had very little to do with it, but it's fun being
as a fan. It's a lot of fun. Playoff hockey. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything better. The energy in those arenas.
I agree. Long way from the playoffs. This is
actually a really tough hit. 22 hits his own man. Friendly fire. Bang, right there. And Phillips felt that. He was down. Yeah. Good to see him up and walking.
That happens actually quite often in the melee when one of your own guys delivers the blow. He's able to smile about it a little bit, or at least grit his teeth through the pain. Noel's got a little something going here. They moved it 42 yards in less than 2 minutes, trying to keep slim hopes alive of a comeback. Take it to Benson. Travis rolls, running for his life, and now just flips it into the bench. Done that a few times tonight to avoid the sack. Xavier Thomas in hot pursuit. Guy who had 2 sacks in 6 snaps against Boston College and a forced fumble. That's what you call efficiency. We haven't called his name much tonight.
Yeah. You know, when Phillips went out, I thought, all right, who's going to come in for him? And then you start to look out. There's only 4 defensive backs if you look at them back here. And here is an outside linebacker that we talked about earlier, Barrett Carter, who is almost out there, walked out in space, playing like a nickelback. You know, he has that kind of ability. They're going to turn him loose here. Looks like they're going to blitz him.
Going up to snag that is Pokey Wilson, who's had a quiet night the guy I think he caught passes from Winky. He's been here that long.
You see, they motion, safety follows him, meaning it's going to blitz. They blitzed our guy Carter, but look a lot more aggressive this time. Instead of sitting back, hey, we got this big lead, let's keep everything in front. That time they brought Carter on the blitz. Wes Goodwin said, let's sit back, instead of sitting back, let's play man-to-man and get a little bit more assertive on that second and long. Because with Carter's skill set, you don't have to bring in nickel with that fifth defensive back because he can be that DB for you.
Pittman motions over on 3rd and 12. Travis, pump fake, and now he'll be slung to the ground. A row. Did he get the face mask?
Yeah, he grabbed the face mask. Great play. Dabo wants holding. I think it's a face mask by a row.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 33. 15-yard penalty for the previous squad, automatic. First down.
Again, look at Tyler Davis get in there. And then Rowe gets in for the sack, and left hand gets a hold of that face mask. So instead of 4th down, they get the first down.
It's just like the vintage Clemson defensive lines. They got speed on the edge, but man, can they collapse the pocket from the middle.
Right,
get right back in the quarterback's face.
And Brazine's still working his way back, but Rowe and Tyler Davis and Page, Trey Williams, man, they're rotating 4 different guys, even with Brazine not in there as much. He's in there now.
Seconds ticking away. Are they going to snap it? No, they don't. Get it off before the end of the quarter. I don't know why they wouldn't take the extra play there. So, Clemson up 20. 15 minutes to play here in Tallahassee. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. College Game Day gang headed back to Eugene. That used to be so much fun there. It would always start in the dark. You could never clearly see the party, but you could hear it and you could smell it. You know what I mean? And Bruins with Chip Kelly coming back to Eugene. It'll be an interesting game.
Be a great game. We haven't been there since 2018.
Really?
Stanford.
Start of the 4th. First down play. Travis dumps it down and good completion, but running the man down from behind there was Levante Bentley, linebacker.
Really good job of feeling that and make it a play. Bentley just using his instincts, because if he doesn't make this play, what a catch. Now watch this. Travis goes down. He's been hit all night. This Clemson defensive line, he's shaking that one off.
Not just the sacks. They've got a couple of them, but sometimes it's the hits and the hurries and the pressures, and they've flushed him again. Giving chase. Travis, you know what? He's a gutsy guy. Took a hard hit, but he didn't get down. He got some extra yards, and it's a first down.
Really, really impressed by what Jordan Travis is trying to do tonight. They have a large deficit, but you got to love man-to-man. He sees it right away. He's pointing, trying to get some help, pick up another block, get as many yards as he can. Keep in mind the previous play, he just got hit by Maskell. He's on his back, shaking his head like, man. He just keeps coming back and being the leader for this Noles offense.
First and goal. They knew they'd have to limit his scrambles tonight. That was a high priority for Wes Goodwin's defense. Travis for the end zone. Was trying to give Wilson a big 6'7" target a chance to go, and it draws a flag on Sheridan Jones. Tough to try to climb the ladder and defend a guy that big.
And I love how Travis throws it. That's that smile like, really? Really? Oh, okay. By the way, the throw, when you have a 6'7" receiver way up in the air, so he can do a jump ball to come up with
Pass interference.
Got there early, though.
Defense number 6. There's a foul occurred in the end zone. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Dabo didn't like this, but Bill, you did. Made contact there, right? Never found the ball.
He gets his arms up into him. He's restricting him right there. The ball hasn't arrived yet.
Bill's more objective than Dabo.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
So the Noles trying to stop this 27-point Clemson run with the first and goal. And it's a fade going right back to Wilson, who fights back to the football. That time Nate Wiggins was in coverage. Just a little too far outside.
Gives you an idea of the respect they have, again, for that interior. Instead of trying to run the ball, they see one-on-one. They'll take it with a 6'7" receiver against Wiggins. Trying to throw it way to the outside. All that room to work with, and just not able to get in sync there with Johnny Wilson. Put him out there again, one-on-one.
It's Wiggins on him to the right of the screen. They're going to take a look again. And again, it's just too far outside. Just throw the ball up. Let the guy go get it, Kurt. It's trying to too far to the edge.
And I think Wilson got slowed on his move to the inside. It's all about timing, right? It's all about trying to, you're anticipating. Watch Wilson's route. Kind of gets caught and then works back outside. I think just that little pause was the difference between what Jordan Travis was expecting and what Wilson did.
The point is a good one, though. They have not even tried to test the middle of this Clemson defense with the running game. Now it's 3rd and goal. And now a keeper trying to get to the outside, and no, sir. And flying up to make the play, Jones, and he was joined by R.J. Mickens, the safety. It's 4th down.
Well, watch this defense fly. Watch the speed that they have and how quickly. This is hard to run to the outside because they get off blocks. They set the edge, and then you have safeties and linebackers that can run to the football. So 1st and 2nd down, they try to go up into the air to the tall receiver. 3rd down, they try to run wide against the speed of the Clemson defense. And now they're sitting at 4th down and goal.
That was 1st and goal at the 2. They've gone backwards. Sweeney charged down there to spend a timeout, get his guys lined up. Still coaching hard. Up 20 here.
Kevin Nagani in studio time now for our RB studio update. Let's go to Salt Lake City. Cam Rising to Dalton Kincaid, Utah, tying things up against number 7 USC, but the Trojans respond. Caleb Williams to Josh Follow, his 2nd touchdown. 35-28 Trojans right now. Chris, back to you.
All right, Kevin, thank you. 4th and goal for Florida State. Try to keep a flicker of an unlikely comeback alive here. It's been a rough sequence. Three-man rush. And the ball is batted down to the line of scrimmage by K.J. Henry. They had dropped 9 or 8 guys back, and the pass didn't get beyond the line of scrimmage.
Nothing gets a team fired up like a goal line stand, especially whether you're up by 20 or not. And that's what Clemson's able to do. They had 1st and goal inside the 5. Couple fades, they run wide, and then the ball batted right into the face of Jordan Travis with a push. What a move by K.J. Henry off the edge.
But look at that massive humanity in the end zone. With nobody open anyway in there.
Yeah. Look at him. Compete, regardless of the score.
They were, as he pointed out to Holly at halftime, they were not defending the run very well early, but they cranked up the pass rush, and they have been dominant after halftime here. Uiagalelei looking to throw a downfield shot and caught up in traffic. There was Bo Collins. Holly?
We talked to Dabo Sweeney this week, and he was really proud. He brought up a couple of key figures for us that I think are interesting for viewers. 11 straight 10-win seasons, 123-2 when leading entering the 4th quarter, and in one-possession games, the best in FBS, 33-7. Of course, people know last year was what people would say is a down year for Clemson, but the players told us this year we came back, and our motto all season, it's personal. You can see a renewed emphasis, a renewed consistency, and it is showing up big time for Clemson right now.
And that's a great point, Holly. And up inside to Shipley. The winning streak began when they beat Florida State a year ago. They already lost 3 games at that point. Things were slipping away. Pitt had just beaten them the week before, but 6 straight wins to close things out speaks highly, because a lot of teams would pack it in. A team that's used to playing for championships, and their conference division hopes are slipping away, and they won the last 6 and now continue the longest FBS winning streak. It'll be 13 if they finish the job here tonight.
Yeah, they just couldn't. Think about last year. They played good defense. Their offense just couldn't help them out. Started with their opener against Georgia and just never seemed to get better. This year's been different.
Third down, throws from his goal line and no chance, out of bounds, way over the head of Brittingstool, and Seminoles force a punt.
Like you said, kind of an aggressive approach. After the goal line stand, they came out throwing the football. They weren't running the ball. We're trying to work clock. They came out first and third down there, trying to find matchups to their favor. But Knowles get them off the field, try to get the ball back to Jordan Travis, try to get points.
Pittman standing exactly midfield in the middle of that Osceola logo. Swanson's boot is very short, and Pittman thought about fielding it on the bounce. Mad that he didn't, but it's going to roll dead at the 40-yard line. In the capital of Florida.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
The house was once rocking when it was 14 apiece, now clearing out. Goodyear from the Goodyear blimp, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Well, Sunday countdown. We talked about the collision between the Chiefs and the Bills. You want to make a pick on that? Rematch of the classic playoff game.
Oh, man, I love the Bills, but Mahomes is great too. Go Mahomes.
Broncos Chargers on Monday night, 5 Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern on the app and ESPN.
Russell's playing, right? So I think he's playing.
Yep. Travis is going to be flushed again, trying to make something happen with his legs, and he's still weaving around, fighting hard out near the marker at the 50.
Well, when these two teams come together at the end of this game, Dabo Sweeney is going to go over there and put his arm around 13 and show him a lot of respect and admiration for the heart that he's playing with against his defense.
There's a drop by Benson.
He's not having a big night throwing the ball, though he started off doing a pretty good job, but doing everything he can with his legs. 12 different times he's run the football, some designed and many where he has had to just take off and get away from the pass rush.
Hit him and knocked him around. They have not been perfect in containing his scrambles, which we mentioned was a big priority for West Gilburn's defense. Travis has run for 56 yards and a touchdown. 3rd and 1. So Feely makes a cut and finds a crease. And he'll rumble down inside the 30.
This play is being pushed out this way, right? And then you get the back who does a good job of using his eyes to feel that. I think backside. He's just kind of waiting to find the crease. Waits, and then times it perfectly to get upfield.
Pump fake. And down the seam. It's complete to Johnny Wilson. And the big fella knocked down. 1st and goal for Florida State.
That's what they were doing earlier in the game. They were getting the ball outside and then trying to find vertical seams. The first times we've seen the big guy get a chance to get downfield between a defensive back and a linebacker, and comes out a little hobbling on that low hit.
Yeah, he's been dealing with an ankle, trying to get back to full health. He won't be down. They won't be throwing a fade to him this time down there. Not in the game. See if the approach is different. 1st and goal from the 4. Something tells me the offensive line would like a chance to block for a running play, but looking to throw again, and it was behind Toafili. Pressure again from KJ Henry.
Boy, KJ Henry, good job. Just rushing forward, gets the pressure. Let's go back to that little pump fake. Then he gets the vertical seam, puts it right between the safety, the corner. And there's that low hit.
Kuba went down there. Wilson in some pain.
It sure is. Remember last time they were down here, they took a couple shots to Wilson because of his size. The ball's got to come out fast with this pass rush. Try the crossers maybe.
In traffic in the backfield, trying to get out of the way of two backs and couldn't navigate around big Myles Murphy, who's had an evening tonight.
That was great. I mean, Myles Murphy, you're trying to read, is he collapsing to pull it, or is he going to take the quarterback and you can hand it off? Try to make this read, slow-mo this. Watch this. Try to make that read. He takes everybody. Gets around the block. He takes the back. Jordan Travis had to abort. He wanted to go around the left end because that's Murphy came down, but he took everything away. Just completely blew the play up.
Now it's 3rd and goal. The Tiger defense, all the starters out there still trying to protect this 20-point lead. Keep the Noles out of the end zone. Play clock down at 2. Got to hurry. Just get it off. Travis on the run. Fires. Wide open. Touchdown. That was Ja'Kai Douglas, who catches a touchdown pass in his first game of the season.
And I'll tell you what, he's known as a hybrid, running back and receiver. Watch how he works, just running his route, and then he realizes his quarterback needs help. Watch him run his route, and then here, once he looks back, he settles back to the inside because Travis is trying to just find anybody that's open. So good job of feeling that, coming back and helping your quarterback out there by Douglas.
He's been a starter in the past, but just been hampered by injuries, so that's got to feel pretty good for Douglas. And the Seminoles cut it to a 13-point game. Still 9:22 left here in Tallahassee.
Kevin Nagani back in studio. Week 7 night window on the family of networks. Undercard and boxing. How about a Rod Laver Arena in Australia? Chris is familiar with that. That's over on ESPN. SEC Network. Kentucky up by 10. Memphis just tied it up on ESPNU. And North Carolina leading by 3 against Duke. Back to you, Chris Kirk.
Wildcats of Kentucky trying to stop the momentum of the Mississippi State team, which visits Alabama next week. AT&T 5G bringing you the rankings. This is the AP poll. Dogs beginning to look more like we thought they would, pitching a shutout.
He had 3 losses in the top 10 with Oklahoma State going down to TCU and Penn State going down. Boy, Michigan looked really good today. Wonder how far Alabama will drop.
That'll be the key question when the polls come out on it. I mean, they'll get jumped by Clemson, then Michigan, I think.
Yeah, Tennessee, obviously.
Yep. So they could be down there 7th, 8th.
6, 7.
Uyunglele still in the ball game and still running it, and he's going to be spun down at the 29. Noles, it's not impossible if they can get a stop here. Got to get the football back.
They're taking the field, and Adam Fuller and Mike Norvell. Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator, saying, "Guys, let's keep playing. You know, we're going to play a full 60. Get a stop, maybe a turnover. Let's get the ball back. Our quarterback can score on these guys. Got to be aggressive."
Clemson in no hurry will make use of the play clock, you'd figure, each and every time.
First time they've done that with this big lead.
Uyunglele took a look to the flat, and now he'll just scramble for about a yard, brought down by Robert Cooper and Joshua Farmer, so it's 3rd down.
The big thing there, he's got to do a good job of protecting the football. The safeties, Brown steps up, but what you worry about if you're a Clemson fan is the defenders up front on the defensive line. They start to chase from behind, bang, you can knock that ball loose. Robert Cooper with that big strong right hand came close to trying to get his hands on that ball.
Crowd that's still here trying to make some noise, and they force a punt. Option look, they pitch it on the edge to Shipley. A little wrinkle from the running game, and it works for a 1st down.
Oh, that's a great job on a pivotal 3rd down of the quarterback attacking the pitch man. Does a good job of McClendon. See, McClendon's waiting for him to pitch it, and then he's going to run down the line to go get Shipley, but instead he attacks, makes 9 sell out, commit to the quarterback, and then you deal it. So that was really well done there by DJ Uyunglele, showing great patience and making McClendon eventually bite down where he could kick it out to Shipley.
Everything was sharp. When you see teams that don't run the option, try to run it. Sometimes it doesn't look pretty.
That was beautiful. And on a big third down.
Snap it at 1 on the play clock. Shipley again. Boom. Barrels into FSU territory. Holly?
Will Shipley running so hard, looking so good tonight. And I was talking to Clemson running back coach CJ Spiller, who's actually been out here, done this same kind of job. He said the best thing about Will Shipley is his football IQ. He said he actually gets better as the game goes on because he makes these little subtle adjustments. Sometimes we're coaching it, sometimes he's figuring out on his own. But he is blown away by this guy's football IQ in their meeting rooms and how he adjusts as the game goes on. But what I'm impressed with tonight, Will Shipley's running harder than we saw him run against NC State. He's turned it up a notch, and you can tell.
Big time. He's not just football IQ, he's just high IQ. 4.0 business management major. His way. C.J. Spiller, of course, the legendary Clemson running back, is the running back coach here. And he was a kid growing up a Florida State fan. He wore 28 because he wanted to honor the great Warwick Dunn, who was a star here in the 90s.
Boy, was he good.
They both were pretty good.
I remember when Spiller was a freshman, I think it was James Davis. Wore number 1. And Spiller, we were there the night he was introduced.
They both came out to the set for a post game.
Calvin Johnson was on the Georgia Tech team. It was a big night for C.J. Spiller.
That was fun. We used to cover like post game, right? You get the heroes. They come out in the shoulder pads, set all fired up.
Yeah, it was
crowd would gather around.
It was great years.
Shipley, he's never going to not run hard. Barrels down.
He's
a couple yards short of the marker.
He's running very hard, and Holly's report is very accurate. It's great to see him. He looks fresh, but I'm going to tell you, you got to tip your cap to the offensive line and a lot of these double teams. You know, they're working down on these double teams on this talented defensive line and getting up to the backers. So I think he has a lot more room to run now that he's over 100 yards, averaging just under 6 yards a carry. So when he gets going, everything opens up in this offense. They hit you on the perimeter run, they run between the tackles, and then they throw those shots downfield to those receivers.
He's got it again. He said 100 yards rushing. He's caught 6 passes for 48 yards at the big 69-yard kickoff return. He would be, I think, most people's MVP of this game tonight.
Yeah, and you know, I'd love to talk to the strength coach and find out. He must have lived under the squat rack from his true freshman year to who he is now. I mean, he came in highly touted out of Charlotte, big-time talented recruit. And a lot of people thought he would come in out of Weddington High School and just be the guy right away, and he was, but with an offense that was just struggling to really create an identity. He didn't have the year that he had hoped to have. He showed flashes, but an entire year in that weight room, he's gotten stronger, especially his lower half. He's running through so many tackles now, and he's much faster.
This is Maffa. I love the shirt that Shipley's mom wore to the game. I saw it last week. Ship happens. Ship has happened tonight.
Yeah, sure.
In a big way.
Certainly has.
Runner, receiver, and returner. Take a timeout, 4:11 to play.
It sure has.
ACC Network has the ACC Huddle at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. That's coming up very soon. Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, that former old bearded Clemson offensive lineman. Mark Ricks, FSU grad, so both schools represented there. EJ Manuel in the mix as well. They can break down the Cuse win. And this performance by Clemson tonight. A bunch of teams in the ACC actually idle today. Probably all looking in, watching this one. And seeing what the Tigers are up to. Plenty. And they fake it. And Uiagalelei is going to be knocked down behind the line. Second sack of the night.
Hold on to that
Malcolm
football.
Ray. What do you make of the Cuse traveling down to Death Valley against Clemson? It's the last ACC home game for the Tigers.
I guess if it were at the Dome, you would think, be careful. But at Death Valley, I don't know. Can Syracuse go in there and win? I guess things happen, but I don't know what the spread will be. But I think Clemson will be pretty heavily favored.
I was wrong about that. Later on, Louisville and Miami both come into Death Valley. It's Syracuse at Notre Dame. They have one road game remaining up in South Bend. The Irish, by the way, losing to Stanford tonight at home as the Card. They beat an FBS team for the first time in 12 games. It must 11 in a row. That's a bad home loss for the Irish.
North Carolina's kind of put it together a little. You know, you start to look at their offense and what Drake May's doing and the potential to score. You know, such a long way to go for both divisions, but you could potentially see Drake May and DJ Uiagalelei getting together. Although North Carolina is losing to Duke right now in the fourth quarter. Thanks to Bear letting me know that. As I tell you, North Carolina.
You had him in Charlotte.
I tell you, North Carolina's got a chance. Yeah, they're losing to Duke. So forget that.
13. There's a pre-snap penalty. Oh, man.
Because you and I, a lot of times, are there in Charlotte.
Offense.
We are.
To watch Clemson just.
5-yard penalty. Third down.
It's like they just had the belt and they just trot in one different challenger after another every year, and they just get knocked out. Sometimes they would hang around for a few rounds. Sometimes they get KO'd early.
Yeah, it's.
And the Tigers, of course, is pointed out, not making it there a year ago. So it starts for that. And they got to win the division. You got to win the conference. You got to win the state championship. So they got the Gamecocks coming in for the finale.
Get your arm britches on there later in the year.
Championship pants. Yeah, 3rd and 18. Quarterback's going to keep it. They're going to have him take one more shot. I guess it's a low-risk play, protecting the lead, but it'll be 4th down and long now.
Did we already throw Clemson's remaining schedule up? You start to look at who they have to play, and you mentioned some of it. I mean, they're going to be heavily favored. And you start to look at what's happening with Tennessee and Alabama, Ohio State and Michigan and Georgia and all these great teams that are out there. I don't know why, after watching Clemson now for over half the year, why you can't throw clearly their hat in the ring off year. Well, I know you and I'm just saying a lot of people are kind of still waiting to see who they are. And I think from, from the NC State game on, I think they really have shown to be a complete team. Because everybody's, in the preseason you talk about Georgia and the SEC and the Big Ten, and people are starting to forget about Clemson a little bit.
Well, Wake Forest was a serious scare. I think they had something to prove after that game. They got to Winston-Salem with the
I think it added to the doubt after watching the Wake Forest game. It had 6 touchdown passes allowed that day.
But you're right. They're going to be solid favorites. I mean, Syracuse, a worthy challenger, and then they got the 3 games at home, and then if things work out for them, off to Charlotte, and it would be, I think, impossible to deny an undefeated Clemson team a spot in the playoff.
Yeah, of course.
Putt is away from Swanson, and it'll bounce backwards. Beautifully executed there. Nice sand wedge. Rolls dead at the 5-yard line. DJ enjoyed that one.
Oh, he's enjoyed a great game. This is in the first half where he gets the ball thrown downfield to Antonio Williams, avoided the pressure. He's been spreading it all over, really, and running the football. Just in command. This is a first play of the second half after a big kickoff return. Go to a flea flicker, waits for it to open up down that left sideline and hits Davis Allen for another touchdown pass.
15 completions. He's run it 14 times. So add some rushing yards onto the 203 passing yards and no turnovers.
Yeah, no turnovers.
Knowles from the 5. They do get the big receiver Johnny Wilson back on the field, and as Travis from his end zone delivers across the middle.
I think the greatest
made by the tight end McDonald.
The greatest thing, if you're a Clemson fan, forgetting all the looking down the road at a potential ACC championship and all that, you have a motivated football team. So I don't think they're going to get ahead of themselves. They're not going to think about looking at this game or that game. I think Dabo Swinney, because of the year that they went through last year, he's got a team that's anxious to get back to where they think they belong, which is winning the ACC and getting back into the playoff.
Talk about the playoff thing. When Alabama loses, is always a big story. Tide, obviously not out of it, but no margin for error. Tennessee and Georgia will collide in the SEC East, and that conference is going to play a big role. Yeah. Ohio State and Michigan, it would be surprising at this point if they were not undefeated when they collided in Columbus. And so the winner of that obviously is in great position, heading to Indy as a favorite in that game. But the loser also not out of it.
No, not at all. Michigan, boy, they took a big step today with a dominating performance against Penn State at home.
Oklahoma State took their first loss of the season, that OT game, as Travis is trying to escape, fighting for his life. Somehow does. He's going to scramble and hurdle people and get a first down. Quarterback continues just to fight to the final minutes here.
Again, he's sacked. Bruce, he has him again. 11's on the pressure. They don't blitz anybody. A little twist game up front, but 11 had him. KJ Henry had him, and he didn't give up, man. This kid's a fighter.
Delivers downfield, and he's got a man running free. And that is big Marquiston Douglas, who's out near midfield. If the Noles could get a quick score here and keep hope alive, this could get somewhat interesting down the stretch.
It's a nice job of safety in the middle. Good seam there between the corner and the safety. They've been finding that seam. And that's one way to get the ball upfield in a hurry. Hit that tight end.
And another big throw. He had Pittman running free. He was behind the linebacker. Carter just missed him. Would have been a tough throw.
Best thing about that is stops the clock with the incompletion.
Pittman's been contained tonight. We talked about the versatile weapon and a nice return on the punt, but only one catch, Kirk, for 6 yards. Clemson will feel good about the job they've done on former Oregon Duck. Should be a free play. Travis looks underneath. And again, he's using big Douglas, who's bouncing off people. Big fella, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, dragging a dude down to the 25-yard line. And there still is hope here with 2:25 to go.
I mean, he's 6'4", 270. You mentioned a free play. They jumped, and he got rid of the ball in a hurry.
Offside. Defense. The penalties decline. Result of play is the first down.
Clemson's
so fun to tackle late in the game.
No way. I mean, look, Clemson's dropping everybody. They're dropping like a Tampa 2, dropping their middle linebacker, but you got to wrap up. Barrett Carter bounces off a Trotter, the other linebacker.
They went in no part of hitting him high. Guys are trying to go low against him. Yeah. Travis with the deep drop, flushed out, scanning, fires to the end zone, jump ball, touchdown, Florida State. Kentron Porti. And just like that, the Seminoles off the canvas have made this a one-score game.
What a job by Portier working away from Nate Wiggins. We've seen these receivers because they understand that their quarterback's a scrambler. When you run a route and you've got to get away from your defensive back, you look back, you see your quarterback running for his life. You got a DB on you. You go into your scramble drill and just try to find space. Let's watch 88 here. Portier's right here initially. Watch him once he recognizes that he's got a quarterback. Quarterback starts to bail. Here he is, starts to work to the middle, then he aborts, comes back to the quarterback, and that's where Travis is able to make that throw.
That was a 94-yard drive in a minute 35. 7 plays. They used the big fella Douglas, and then Portier makes his second touchdown of the season. Jordan Travis just fighting and clawing, and hey, anything's possible here at this point.
Jordan Travis has willed the Noles back into this game now, down 6 with 2:17 to go.
You don't have a timeout, which does affect the strategy here.
You got to
go onside kick.
Got to go onside kick. But man, even if they end up losing this game, anybody who's watched this game, they're going to be talking later tonight and tomorrow about, you watched Jordan Travis last night, and that kid was scrambling around, just doing everything he could to make plays and give his team a chance to try to compete tonight.
They're going to throw a little trickery here. They do this sometimes, bring on 2 kickers to try to confuse the hands team. We're in number 16 is Ryan Fitzgerald. See who actually kicks it. Matt Chimento is the other kicker.
I'm guessing left.
Yeah, it gets a hop but doesn't go far enough. And Spector just waiting for it and collects it. So Clemson will take over and should be able to bleed the clock out now.
Pittman starts to 4 almost, but that big hop gave Spector a chance to secure the football. That's just luck. You're just hoping it takes that quick little hop and then up into the air to give the kicking team a chance. Pittman timed it up pretty well, but the big hop gave Clemson an easy chance.
And good coaching there. You want to go after. You don't want to stand there and wait for it to come to you and then get leveled. He made a decisive move, comes up with it, and now it's going to take something wild for the Seminoles to get the football back here. Figures to be low-risk handoff to very reliable people. Shipley running left, and he's going to make a first down, so that'll further bleed the clock down. That is carry number 20 for Will.
He knows one gear. You know, he is in 5th gear at all times. You talked about if you were going to give a game ball to anybody from Clemson, give it to Will Shipley. He's played great tonight. We just talked a lot about Jordan Travis, 2 great individual efforts, but this Florida State team showed a lot of heart. This game looked like it was going to get away. The stadium's 3/4 empty, but the team kept playing hard.
There's a 27-point run by Clemson to begin to take over late second quarter. Got that Shipley kickoff return, then the flea flicker built the lead, but the Noles, despite the fact they were down 20, did not roll over. But appears it's going to be a 3rd consecutive loss for Florida State. Mike Norvell clearly making progress here. Now the challenge will be for his guys to keep it together. The goals they had talked about beginning of the season are going to fade away, but can they find the motivation and the cohesiveness? They say they like each other. That's going to be tested, the motivation down the stretch here now.
You know what helps, though, when you're down 20 and it looks like you're playing Clemson and you're going to end up losing by 40? They fought back.
Yep.
You know, and I think when you're building a program, just seeing that, they wouldn't have done that 2 years ago. Probably wouldn't have done it last year. This is a team that Mike Norvell is building the right way. They had to change the character and the culture, and that takes time. You got to flush some of it out, bring in some new people. And if I'm a Florida State fan, I like that we're getting footing. We're starting to get a direction that makes you feel good. Now, are they back to their glory years? Of course not. But at least I think you got a right guy leading you, and you're going in a good direction. You need to recruit more quarterbacks like Jordan Travis, too.
There aren't too many.
And just the skill set. Now, it's hard to find that hard, but the skill set of running and throwing fits this offense very well.
Look back at some of the moments here in the second half, too. And while Clemson was busy scoring all the time, their defense made that goal line stand when the Noles had 1st and goal at the 2, and they stopped them there. They tried the fades, that didn't work, and that ended up being a big play. Had the Noles begun the comeback a little quicker,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and think about how the second half started. The opening kickoff by Shipley, he puts them in great territory, and the very first play for Clemson, the flea flicker, and in a blink of an eye, they score a touchdown. And you haven't even settled in. That middle 8 was a 17-0 run. The last 4 minutes, first 4 minutes of the second half, Clemson scores 17 points, and that really was a difference in the game.
They're going to make it 7 in a row victories over the Noles in this rivalry. Extend the FBS long winning streak to 13. And, of course, take command in the division. The Noles faithful who hung around did see their team fight, and I think you're exactly right. They saw a tremendous game from their quarterback. And I'm sure Mike Norvell will talk about that. But, again, it's the mistakes, and this is going to end up being a 1-score game. Clemson's going to win another one of those, and it's going to be another loss for Florida State. They've had a tough time just trying to get over the hump in these tight ball games.
And for Clemson, we've talked a lot in this second half. They have Syracuse next week, early kick. Big energy, and they'll try to just keep this revenge tour of what we would call a revenge tour that they're on. Keep it going. See if they can win again and keep the momentum built that they have going right now.
There were so many doubters of DJ Uyunglele even after the opening game. You know, they played Georgia Tech, but Cade Klubnik, the backup, came in and played well, and there were people thinking that DJ was going to lose his job even though they won that game. And man, as he erased that narrative, he continues to build in a strong bounce back year for him. goes on the road, takes care of business. That's KJ Henry there, part of that defensive front. Those guys finally back together, Kirk, for the first time, and it didn't look pretty early for that defense, but man, did they respond.
They sure did. You know, and like you said, I think they were on their heels a little bit early, and that's a credit to Florida State's offense and the plan that Mike Norvell and his group put together.
Norvell congratulating DJ. Special feel for quarterbacks, and you know what he sees on the other side. Holly's worked her way to Dabo Sweeney.
Well, Coach, this got interesting at the end, but 13 straight wins for your team. How do you describe the turnaround and the want-to of this group right now?
Well, that's our just culture. You know, we got great kids. We got a great staff. You know, we went from 4-3 last year, everybody writing us off, to 13 in a row, and you don't get lucky and do that. And so proud of these guys. It's not easy to win, especially on the road. That's 4 road games in our league on the road. But I think to me, we need to acknowledge Coach Norvell and these guys, because these kids didn't quit. I mean, we're up 20 points, and I kept telling our guys, and I'm disappointed in how we finished defensively, kind of playing to a scoreboard, people leaving, and all of a sudden we forget, these kids ain't quit. And I think that's a real compliment to Mike and his staff. And I told him that before the game. These guys, I think, have turned the corner down here. They played their butts off. We were very fortunate right there at the end. But I'm really proud of our team. I'm proud of this guy. This is a great win for us. And,
Well, let's bring him in. That was going to be my next question. I thought Will Shipley running the ball hard. How did you get the running game going tonight, and how are you proud of this young man?
Yeah, well, we knew coming into the game, and we probably my message to the team was if we outrush them, we win. And we probably didn't after the way the game ended, but this guy right here was awesome. We knew it was going to have to be one of those type of games. We got him going early. He gets better as he goes, and he's just kind of built that way. But he's a special young man, really proud of him. He was a heart for us tonight. He and that number 5 in that offensive line.
Yes, sir. And you did get better as it goes. You had some great pass catches. You turned little things into big things, including a return in the return game. Tell me what was so good about you tonight.
I'm just having fun out there. Thanking God for every opportunity that I have to inspire other people. So, any chance I get the ball in my hands can help this offense, can help this team. I'm gonna put my front foot forward and do everything that I possibly can.
DJ Uiagalelei led this team in rushing last week. I wondered if that lit a fire under you guys, because I felt like you were running really hard tonight, Will.
Yeah, I definitely had some grudges against myself, as well as some things that people have said, leading up to this game. So I wanted to prove some stuff tonight, and I believe we did as an offense, and I believe I did as an individual as well.
Your team motto this year is "It's personal." You felt like you left too much on the field last year. What do you think you've done to turn the corner?
I think we've done such a great job. Leaders are emerging, playmakers are emerging. The coaching staff is doing such a great job of putting us in a great position to win. And that's truly what it comes down to, is just making plays and going out there and doing your thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it.
Impressive player, impressive guy. You find fuel wherever you can. I'm not really sure who was doubting Shipley, but hey, whatever, you got to go tonight.
Isn't it funny how 18 to 22-year-olds, hey, they're questioning you. They don't believe in you.
They didn't score a touchdown last week. For Dabo, clearly tempered enthusiasm. He got outscored 14-0. They give up 206 rushing yards. They got outgained by 90, but it was just the strip sack by Murphy. This team knows how to make plays to switch momentum and then build on it.
Yeah, and I think he saw what you and I saw. He saw a Florida State team that didn't give up when they were down 20. He said, my defense is playing to the scoreboard. I think he was right a little bit there. So yeah, you get a win, 34-28, and yet you can still walk away and go to the film room and say, guys, second half, what's going on here? So you can keep your team hungry. You can keep your team motivated to get ready for that next game against Syracuse. So it's a win-win for Clemson. Get on the road against a good Florida State team, win it. Wasn't pretty in the second half, but they still win, and just keep building for the rest of the year.
Yeah, mission accomplished on a very wild day and night in college football. The Tigers stay unbeaten and stay very much in contention for another college football playoff bid. We enjoyed it tonight from Tallahassee. Hope you did. Game produced by Bill Bunnell, directed by Derek Mobley. Entire crew here. Everybody in the booth. Mark Amento, Mike Black, Bill Lamagne, Chris Felica, Holly Rowe on the sidelines, Chris and Kirk. So long. Darren Brown's over here. Good night from Tallahassee.